among the 60% who say he did say Biden on his phone. So he's among the Republicans who are correct on this issue.
Correct, but 4 in 10 Republicans believe Trump mentioned Biden. 4 in 10 don't believe that he mentioned them at all. This story,
he's lying.
A new poll shows that only 4 in 10 Republicans believe that President Donald Trump mentioned investigating Joe Biden on his phone call to the Ukrainian president, even though Trump himself has admitted that he did. The Monmouth University survey was conducted between September 23rd and 29th, and the results were published on October 4th. Not only is this news itself a problem, but it's also a symptom of a much larger one. For far too many people, partisanship supersedes facts. And I guess that would be kind of the topic. I mean, I think I'm not the only one who has witnessed a change in politics over the last 10, 20 years. It used to be divisive.
It's not now?
It's hyper divisive.
Oh, okay.
I think we've taken it to an extreme where it has to be the only truth is what comes from my side.
Well, basically what I see has been going on is that there has been a polarization of politics that appears to be intentional. If you look at the news media, you don't see the news media pushing any stories of reconciliation or peace or compromise. It's all about our side good, their side bad, and it's coming from both sides.
I agree.
This is interesting to me as somebody who believes that Fox News and CNN are controlled by the same people and targeted to different audiences and pursuing the same objectives, because it says to me that what they want is a divided country, a country where we hate each other more than we hate our real enemy, the government.
I think there would have been a time where people would have said, "No, buddy, you're a crazy person."
People still say that.
Oh, I know that. But,
but
I agree with you. I think you're exactly right. And I think the strings are being pulled on both sides of the aisle, and it just keeps us focused on the other half of the country.
Everything has had this surreal, unreal feel for decades now. I mean, the rise of Barack Obama from nowhere, the rise of AOC from nowhere, and then all of a sudden, they're all over the media. Where did these people come from? Well, we don't really know. They just suddenly, they got picked, and then there they were. And it's just, everything in the movie, in the news, to me feels like a Hollywood movie more than it feels like reality. It feels like a narrative being played out.
I would agree with that, and it's felt like that for a long time, but I think it's more so now. It just seems like, it does feel like the whole, like there's all right action, and both sides do their talking, and then all of a sudden cut. And it seems like one big play that's being portrayed. The problem is American citizens lose their rights. We lose any freedom we've managed to, grab a hold of over the last couple of years, and we lose more. And it's interesting, ideologically, if people would just pause and just step back and put their partisanship on hold just for 10 minutes and look at what both sides are proposing, you'd really find out that people and parties aren't really that different. I mean,
both are evil.
They're evil, but when it gets down to it, you've got a couple, lightning rod issues that will always be there. It's, anti-abortion for the Republicans. It's going to be anti-gun rights for the Democrats. Okay, so let's just take those off the table. Let's put them over here, and we'll just come back to those, okay, just for a while. And then you'll sit there and you'll go, okay, it's a nanny state government. They're telling us what we can do. They're making us buy certain products. You have to do that. Where are the real differences?
Now, one thing I've always wondered, because those are issues that I consider pretty much irreconcilable gun rights and abortion, in that if somebody regards abortion as murder, it's hard to say to them, just ignore it. It's none of your business. The best result that I've had is telling them, well, think of your church as your in-group, and don't worry about what the other tribes do, because people in your church aren't going to be having abortions, right?
Right.
But the thing is, I think that abortion would be susceptible to a federalist solution, which would mean getting rid of Roe versus Wade.
Which should have never been decided in the first place. Yeah, it's a state's right.
I agree with that. You. Even though I take a very expansive view of the Ninth Amendment, as a political thing, I think if the country is that divided as to whether or not it's a right, then maybe just let the states deal with it, and that way you don't have to be bent out of shape about what happens in California if you live in New Hampshire. Guns are actually susceptible to the same sort of treatment because, the thing that we forget sometimes is that the Bill of Rights was never really meant to limit the state governments. The Bill of Rights became relevant to state laws only after the 14th Amendment, which said that the states could not abridge the privileges and immunities of U.S. citizens. So before that, Massachusetts actually had an established church,
right,
which I think is a terrible idea. But maybe if we let Kentucky or Georgia establish the Baptist as a church, all the Baptists would go there and, not try to change the law where they are.
Right.
Not that there aren't Baptists who are perfectly libertarian and say, well, I'm a Baptist, but you do what you want to do, in which case I'm completely down with them. I don't hate Baptists for being Baptists. They're just an example of a sect which traditionally has worked very hard to turn the religion into law.
What do you think? I have a question for all of you. Are you more free or less free under Donald Trump than you were under Barack Obama? Are you more free or less free? I've got something to say about that, and I'm sure we can probably eke out an opinion out of Nobody and Ian. 855-450-FREE. This is Free Talk Live.
Divvy is crypto made easy. Anyone can use Divvy to securely and seamlessly spend, earn, store, or exchange digital money, the US dollar, and euros. Divvy is fast. Transactions happen in seconds with fewer fees. While other altcoins are languishing, the Divvy price has risen substantially against BTC. Now's the time to make a switch to Divvy or make your start with cryptocurrency with Divvy. Visit DivvyProject.org. Divvy is crypto made easy. Plus one-click masternodes. DivvyProject.org. Again, DivvyProject.org.
Warning, this is a privacy alert. You are being spied on right now as I speak by your phone. If you want this to stop, visit GoDarkBags.com and we'll show you how elite military units protect themselves and how you can too. GoDark Bags are lab tested and guaranteed for life. Visit GoDarkBags.com now and enter discount code FTL to save 15%. That's GoDarkBags.com. Discount code FTL. Your privacy depends on it. End transmission.
And not to mention the shedding, I would vacuum the carpet 3 times a week. Frodo was scratching all night long, bouncing on the side of the bed, keeping me awake the whole entire night from all the scratching and chewing. It kind of makes you neurotic.
Does your dog itch, scratch, stink, or shed like crazy?
Mounds and mounds of fur all over the place.
Come to Dinovite for help.
DINOVITE.com.
If you want the dog to be healthy, you got to feed it something healthy.
Dinovite is nutrition.
The omega-3 fatty acids.
Flaxseed, zinc, alfalfa.
Our vitamins and enzymes replace the nutrients cooked out of most commercial dog foods.
He gobbles it up. He's not up all night scratching. His shedding is minimal, and it is such a pleasure to have my calm, relaxed, non-shedding puppy back. And I have to thank Dinovite for that.
Don't let your dog itch, scratch, stink, or shed like crazy.
Come to Dinovite for help.
859-428-1000. 859-428-1000.
DINOVITE.com.
This is the Onion Week in Review. Sources are confirming your dog died earlier today, and we're all really sorry you had to find out about it like this, buddy. Though it's a lousy thing to have to learn from an online web video, and even shittier to hear from a cold, hardened newsman's voice that you can't put a face to. Your pet passed away in his sleep while you went out today, and we understand how shocked you must be right now. Sources added that there are many local shelters with animals in need of a good home, though we understand that no dog can ever truly replace the one you just lost. I lost a dog once, but my mom was the one who told me about it, and she was quite the comfort. In this week's op-ed pages, Pantene CEO Marcus Russo laments feeling like the only one who gives a shit about rich, lustrous hair. In other news, a study finds that newborn infants can tell if their parents are losers. A man who just assembled a desk is unsure how he has every screw left over. And Jeff Beck is lured into a dark alley with the old guitar pick on a string trick. For more, visit theonion.com/newsbeat.
This is the Onion News Network.
There are lots of ways to listen to Free Talk Live. Our podcast has been around since podcasts began, and now the FTL feed is loaded with content besides our full show archives. Did you know that we make it easy for you to customize your podcast subscriptions? We have different feeds, one that includes only our full shows, one with just the Daily Digest, and one with just the Edgington Post. You decide what you listen to. It's quick and easy to customize your feeds at feeds.freetalklive.com. That's feeds.freetalklive.com. Are you a cryptocurrency advocate? The Crypto Tip is the ideal outreach tool to help new people discover cryptocurrency. It's a printable business card-sized tip that you can give to service providers, preferably in addition to a good cash tip. When the server scans the QR code, it'll bring up an explanation of cryptocurrency, how to install a wallet, and allow them to claim the tip. If they don't claim the crypto, you get your tip refunded to you after a time period you specify. Plus, if they do claim the tip, you get an email alert. Create as many tips as you want at cryptotip.org. That's cryptotip.org.
Help get LRN.FM into more ears. Visit promote.lrn.fm for a free bumper sticker, flyers, banners, graphics, and more. Promote.lrn.fm.
This is Free Talk Live, 855-450-FREE. That's our toll-free number, 855-450-3733. You can also hit us up on Discord. Discord is a very cool app. You can load it on your phone. You can load it on your PC, on your laptop, and just connect to us. You find out more at discord.freetalklive.com. Use your high-quality microphone, your high-speed internet connection, and you will sound like you are right here in the studio with us. The us in studio tonight is myself, Chris.
Yeah, it's Ian.
And the nobody formerly known as Rich Paul.
And I want to tell you about the Edge wallet. If you're getting into digital cryptocurrencies, you need a digital wallet, and Edge wallet is the one that I use. It is iOS and Android compatible. You can use it to buy, sell, trade, and securely hold your cryptocurrencies. It's user controlled. That means you own the keys. That means you actually own your money. Not every wallet out there does that. There's support for Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cash, Ethereum, tokens, Monero, Ripple, Stellar, many, many more. It's a veteran team. They have been building apps since 2014. They want to help you secure your freedom, and we want to help you too. We're going to send you to edge.app where you can find out more. That's edge.app.
I used mine today.
I did too. I actually helped a guy. It was interesting. Well, he had already had Edge Wallet loaded, but he wanted to know if there was a way he could create two separate wallets for his Bitcoin. He wanted to, have one to do something else with. Mm-hmm. And I said,
have
sure.
His wallet need it too?
Yeah, we'll just go into the Edge wallet and add Bitcoin again, and it will create another one. And it's still backed up just with a word instead of all the 12 words or the 24 words that wallets typically do, and it's still secure. So
one of the business owners in town does that because he owns two different businesses. So he's got a bar, and then across the street he has a convenience store, and they both take cryptocurrency. So he has a Bitcoin, a Bitcoin Cash, and a Dash wallet for each, all within his Edge wallet.
Right. It's so simple.
Yeah.
It's a nice feature.
That way
it's an interesting idea.
Accounting's going to, the money from one store is going to one wallet, the money from the other store is going to the other wallet.
So is it using a different derivation key?
Not to get too complicated, but yes.
I don't know how they're doing it.
Yeah. That's interesting.
And
I didn't know
but it
that
does
was
it all
possible,
automatically. It's, it's just create it and there it is.
Yeah. Like my campaign wallet, I use Edge Wallet, and I use Coinomi for a separate wallet, but I didn't know they could be enclosed in the same one. That's
you can do that with
handy.
Koinomi too. You can add more than one wallet there.
I knew you could add...
but you can't name them. Koinomi doesn't remember when you, like if you were to uninstall it and reinstall it, you have to keep track somewhere of, oh yeah, I've got this, and this. But on Edge, it remembers. If you log in on your Edge wallet on another device, you don't have to remember which wallets you had in there and reinstall them all.
I really need to write a little utility that I can throw my no longer used addresses and such in, and have this utility just watch the blockchain to see if anything ends up in there. Like somebody sends me money from an old business
really
card
old.
or something.
Yeah, God knows how many old wallet addresses I've gone through.
Oh yeah.
But we're talking about this story where this is according to National Review and Monmouth University. They did a survey, and only 4 in 10 Republicans believe Trump mentioned Biden in the Ukraine call.
Wait, 4 in 10 believe he did, or 4 in 10 believe he did not?
Believe he did.
So 6 out of 10 believe he did not mention Biden.
Correct.
So Trump is in the minority, actually. He's one of the 40% who believes he did.
Yeah, 40% of people believe something that came out of Trump's mouth. Now,
I don't believe most of the things that come out of Trump's mouth, so I can understand how that could be.
Now, and they talk about this, and they refer to it more as a symptom and a part of a larger problem. Now, this isn't to say that all Trump supporters are off their rocker. It just means that this is the point that partisanship has taken over. It's true. The majority of people are either for Trump or against Trump, and the side that they're on is the only thing determining their view on any issue.
Well, did they determine what level of knowledge people even have about this? Because, I mean, I don't really know all the details on this. I have not been following it closely. I mean, are we talking to people here, the interview or the polling company or whoever did this? Did they talk to people who specifically said they've been following the issue closely?
I don't know. Maybe we'll get into it in the article.
We should probably recap
issue.
At least this is the official story of the issue. We first heard of this when a person who described themselves as a whistleblower came forward and said there was this phone call during which President Trump put undue pressure on the Ukrainian president to investigate Joe Biden for Joe Biden's son and his position on the board of an oil company, which was paying him $50,000 a month, despite his lack of any particular noticeable skills. And so Trump wanted this investigated. Well, Trump says, yes, I did ask the Ukrainian president to see to it that that the Ukrainian government cooperates with our government to expose a piece of corruption that involves officials of both governments. So really, there's no question that, yes, he asked for this investigation. The question is, did he do it for his own personal gain, or did he do it because one of his jobs is diplomacy? And if some foreign country's police force won't cooperate with your police force, our president calls their president and says, hey, get your guys in line. Get them to cooperate with my guys.
Did he hold something over the president's head, though? Was there some
Not explicitly, and this is an interesting thing. There was aid to the Ukraine that was delayed after this phone call, and that aid was later delivered.
Well, it had been delayed for some time, even though Congress had approved the aid package a couple months back.
So, but there was nothing said on the phone about this. Trump did remind the Ukrainian president that we, or the U.S. government, had done them favors, and I'm sure the U.S. government has done favors for every country and every government in the world. It hasn't done the people any favors. But and I'm sure that they expect quid pro quo for these favors. That's what they do. So I don't think that anything that happened here, I think it was very convenient that there was a legitimate reason to investigate Joe Biden's son for Trump, but I don't think Trump necessarily did anything wrong in this case.
Doesn't sound that way to me, but like I said, I mean, you just probably told the story more deeply than I've even heard anything about it so far. So I think a lot of people just know the bare minimum about it.
Yeah. Well, the thing that I would advise anybody who wants to understand the issues is watch CNN, watch Fox News. Don't believe either of them, but try to triangulate the truth.
Not always easy. 855 450 free. What do you think? 4 out of 10 believe what he said and 6 out of 10 don't. 855 450 free. This is Free Talk Live.
Do you have a crypto wealth advisor or coach? If so, has your cryptocurrency advisor been investing in technology stocks for over 20 years? Have they left the corporate world and retired? Or are they still trying to make a weekly paycheck? Have they produced six-figure results for their customers in the past 30 days? And very importantly, are they a member of the Digital Currency Council? Seth Maniscalco is the founder of Crypto Wealth Coach and CryptoWealthCoach.com. Seth invested in his first Roth IRA at 19 years old while living abroad and has been investing in Wall Street and technology for over 20 years with experience in all the money markets. By comparison, so many of these so-called crypto gurus have barely been alive for 20 years. Seth has not only experienced personal success from his own investments in crypto, he has also helped his clients earn 6- and 7-figure incomes, including helping investors make over $750,000 in EOS in 90 days and 1,225% in only 5.5 months with Chainlink. Seth has help for the small do-it-yourself guy on up to crypto whales. Increase your wealth. Visit CryptoWealthCoach.com.
Since time began, tyrants have taken aim at personal liberties. Now there's a movie that aims back.
The government has no more right to tell us what to put in our bodies than they have to take our guns or tell us what books we can read.
6 drug police were eaten by bears while raiding a marijuana farm.
On your knees, you dirty hippies! Jesus. On your knees! What's the problem, officer?
Today, many cops who enforce pot laws do so only because it provides them with cushy jobs, good benefits, and a chance to push people around.
I was an undercover narcotics officer. The drug war is nothing but a farce.
The Second Amendment says you gotta keep you and your gat intact.
Guns and Weed, The Road to Freedom. A film by Michael W. Dean and Nima Vadadi.
DVD available now at gunsandweed.com or on Amazon. That's gunsandweed.com. Makes the perfect gift. Remember, that's gunsandweed.com.
Did you know that Free Aid is a mutual aid, educational, and networking organization? At Free Aid, we support volunteers who provide first aid. We do outreach to the public about health and safety, and we bring together medically skilled freedom lovers. Free Aid is made possible by your generous support. Donors can receive great gifts like first aid kits, t-shirts, silver dime cards, and hoodies. The Free Aid Silver Dime Card Project is sponsored in part by Roberts & Roberts Brokerage, Freedom's Phoenix, and Don't Tread on Meme. Visit fr33aid.com.
LRN.FM now has a Discord. Discord is a free text and voice chat platform, and we now have our own server with a bunch of channels at discord.lrn.fm. You can join other listeners as they chat about various things during our live shows, or anytime, day or night. Discord software is available cross-platform, so you can have it on whatever device you want and take your chats anywhere. Join our Discord at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm.
Uncovering the secrets and exposing the lies. That's what the readers of freedomsphoenix.com get every day. freedomsphoenix.com, constantly providing the information, the real news about government policies, and the real relationship we all have with the coercive government. The real condition of the economy, innovations in technology, breakthroughs in energy, health, and computer science. Learn the truth well before it's admitted to in the lamestream media. The corporate media, nothing more than distributors of government propaganda, but now there's an alternative. freedomsphoenix.com. Constant news updates on the issues that affect your life in the most important ways. With liberty and property under constant attack, freedomsphoenix.com provides the understanding behind the propaganda, and it encourages the participation of its readers. Go to freedomsphoenix.com. That's freedoms with an S, phoenix.com. freedomsphoenix.com. The revolution between the ears has already happened.
Some of our live shows are streamed in HD on Twitch. Please follow and share at twitch.lrn.fm. That's twitch.lrn.fm.
This is Free Talk Live. 855-450-FREE. That's our toll-free number, 855-450-3733. That's the number to call. And weigh in if you would like to weigh in on this poll that was released by National Review today. Only 4 in 10 Republicans believe Trump mentioned Biden on the Ukraine calls, which he did, and he says he did. But only 4 in 10 people believe that actually happened.
4 in 10 Republicans.
4 in 10 Republicans. Thank you.
It would be interesting to read what the actual question was.
I agree with that. I agree that it does bear, and I don't have access. I haven't looked up the polling yet. But I think the overall point is I guess are facts secondary to the spin? I guess that's the question, are facts secondary to partisanship? Does all this take a back seat? Because we're not talking about was Trump guilty of trying to coerce the Ukrainian president. They're just saying, do you believe that the call actually happened?
Well, no. Do you believe that Biden was discussed on the call, I think?
Oh, yes, that's correct.
Okay.
But
Biden's name was mentioned.
But they could listen to that. They could read a story about it. Maybe it's a distrust of media. That's what this represents too.
Well, the other interesting question is they say Biden's name. Did they say a first name? Because it's quite possible that Hunter Biden was mentioned and that Joe Biden was not mentioned, or vice versa. I don't know the answer on that. I suspect that Hunter Biden, who was the subject of the investigation, was almost certainly mentioned.
Well, how about I do this? I just take a step back and kind of simplify it. People were asked if Trump had a call with the Ukrainian president, and in it he mentioned Biden, be it Hunter or be it Joe. It doesn't matter. He just did. Do you believe that call took place? And 4 out of 10 Republicans said no.
Okay.
So I think we could easily get down in the weeds. And I agree, it's interesting to find out what they asked, because this, as Ian points out, this may just represent voter ignorance. But I think
voter ignorance, but the strange thing is that Fox News is not denying that. I guess my question is, where are these people getting this story that they're interpreting it that way?
Or are they just convinced that this is just the fake news? This is media. Yeah. Look, they've even gotten to Fox now.
It can be fake news without, even if the word Biden was mentioned, because there doesn't seem to be any evidence of motive, and motive is vital in this case. I mean, we know that somebody benefited from a thing, but you can benefit from a thing without doing it because you benefited from it, and without doing it solely because you benefited from it, which, certainly, if I'm running for mayor against somebody, then he benefits if I get arrested.
Well, at this point, you can't even say that but there hasn't been a presidential candidate picked for the Democrats. So it's not like Trump knows for sure it's going to be Biden.
Right.
I don't think there's any I don't think they can do anything to him about this, really.
That's actually an excellent point, because Biden is regarded, by me at least, and I think by a lot of Democrats, as an establishment candidate who's least likely to be able to defeat Trump. Mm-hmm. He's almost the next Hillary, and so it could well be that there was no real benefit to Trump, even if Biden does get knocked out, because that just means that maybe he'll have to face a more difficult candidate.
That's interesting. That would be fun.
If I was Trump, I would be scared of Tulsi Gabbard.
Yeah, except Tulsi doesn't have very high polling at this point.
Right.
Biden
but if she did get in, I think she's the one most likely to defeat him because, a lot of people voted Trump because they wanted a humble foreign policy, just like they wanted from W. And yet again, they didn't get it.
I don't know why people voted for Trump. I assume it was a desire to see another season of The Apprentice.
And they have.
Unfortunately, now it's the presidency. Mm-hmm. The story continues.
He's only one ring of this circus.
Right. Many people on Trump's side have, whether they're conscious of it or not, simply written off any negative information about him as, quote, fake news, unquote. With this kind of mindset, why would they ever bother to click on a headline from, say, the New York Times reporting that Trump had mentioned Biden in the call? They might have been able to see that Trump had, in fact, admitted to it, but many would never get that far. They have already decided that in their mind, the Times is a fake news source and therefore not worth considering. Also, for the second reason...
I consider the Times to be a fake news source, but I read it because I want to know what they want me to believe.
Right. Also, for the same reason, they may not trust it, even if they didn't get so far as to read it. In short, if it's favorable to Trump, they believe it. If it isn't, they don't. Now, this isn't new. The same thing was true of Democrats under Obama.
Well, absolutely. I think that's definitely true. The interesting thing is that they've completely missed the point of the story, which the contention isn't even about what they think the contention is about. So, the contention is about whether or not what Trump said to Biden or said to the Ukrainian president was a.
That's the actual story. But according to this,
and I've been dragged into this. There's no telling where the news is going to go. The Ukrainian president's claiming I pushed him.
If 60% don't even believe that there was
nobody pushed me.
If 6 out of 10 don't even believe there was a call, then, why wouldn't they just be completely opposed to the idea of looking further into it?
What this question really was, because your interpretation of it has been very dynamic. We've been going back and forth between not believing the call took place and not believing that Biden was mentioned, and now I want to know which it is.
Well, as I'm trying to find the answers and the questions. This is the only link I have to more of the story and the survey found. We'll get into that, and we'll pull up exactly what survey? It was. Monmouth University, I believe.
Oh, okay. I don't know how they publish.
We will dig up those so we can get down to it. But I think, like I said, I don't think this is a one-off or it's based on a tricky way that the Monmouth University pollers asked a question. I think it's just indicative of people's innate desire to find something wrong with what the other side is saying. I don't believe it.
That and the Trump voters feel very much besieged by the media, and not unjustly. If you look at the difference between the coverage of Obama and Trump, anytime there was a matter of doubt in the Obama administration, the media took the most charitable view to Obama and published it as fact. And anytime there's a point of contention in the Trump administration, the majority of the media takes whatever is said about Trump and publishes that as fact.
Now,
without any question. And, they slip in spurious words like saying these unfounded allegations where they don't know if they're unfounded. They only know what they've been told.
Well, another fact is that I can't remember the exact numbers, but it is a majority of the mainstream media has a liberal political bent.
Oh, yeah.
That is a fact, and that's been repeatedly
and personally, I think Fox News is designed to make conservatives look stupid.
855-450-FREE. This is Free Talk Live.
Most of you know that heart disease is the #1 silent killer in the U.S. What if I told you for just $54.95 a month you could fight against heart disease naturally? At Heart and Body Extract, we've been helping thousands of people get back to a healthier heart. Don't just take my word for it. Check out all of the success stories at hbextract.com, or to order, call 866-295-5305. That's 866-295-5305. hbextract.com. Don't risk it when you can take charge of it.
Let me ask you something. What are you doing when you put money in a 401k or IRA, or store jumper cables in your vehicle, or purchase health insurance? You're preparing. You're preparing to ensure you have enough money for retirement. You're preparing for when your car battery dies, or to have assistance paying a major unexpected medical bill. That all makes sense. The same goes for building a food storage plan. You're preparing for when emergencies or disasters strike and shelves go empty at your grocery store. The best way to prepare is with My Patriot Supply. They've helped 1 million hardworking Americans become more self-sufficient. My Patriot Supply sells hundreds of items, including dozens of emergency food kits, at MyPatriotSupply.com. It could be an earthquake, a cyber attack freezing our banking system, or a disaster that shuts down our power grid for weeks. For all these emergencies and more, get your supplies and prepare today at MyPatriotSupply.com. No more rushing to find empty store shelves because you're too late. Do it now so you're ready. MyPatriotSupply.com.
Hunters, anglers, campers, and survivalists. Get back to nature. Expand your horizons with the highest quality, most versatile, unique slingshots and sling bows on the market at slingbow.com. Slingbow products are compact and models start from just $17.98. They're perfect for your bug out bag or storing in your vehicle. Give yourself and your loved ones the excitement and tradition of Slingbow, a new frontier in archery and truly modern twist on this primitive survival tool. Feel the thrill only at slingbow.com.
Don't you hate that feeling in the pit of your stomach when the police pull you over? Most people have no idea how to handle it properly, and they promptly get fed into the municipal fee-generating meat grinder. Or maybe you recall that feeling you get when you go to the mailbox and see one or more letters from the IRS. You get a sense of impending doom, don't you? So let me ask you, if you could learn how to use the law to beat the IRS, traffic tickets, almost any courtroom scenario, collectors, credit card debt, and even mortgage debt because of fraud perpetrated against you, would that be worth knowing about? Don't laugh. Investigate. Check out the life-changing benefits of the Lighthouse Law Club at their website, lighthouselaw.club. That's lighthouselaw.club. And while you're at it, visit the Lighthouse Law Club YouTube channel. You might be in for a pleasant surprise.
The LRN.FM social media channels have been revamped. We've eliminated Facebook and focused on other platforms like Twitter and Mastodon, the decentralized alternative to Twitter. On our accounts, you'll find posts from multiple LRN.FM show hosts together in one place. Follow us on Twitter at twitter.lrn.fm, or better yet, move to the decentralized Mastodon social media platform at toot.lrn.fm, toot.lrn.fm. I think you'll like it. Bitcoin.com has launched a trading platform at local.bitcoin.com, allowing you to buy or sell Bitcoin Cash via dozens of payment methods like PayPal, Venmo, bank deposit, remittances, or meeting in person with cash. There are no ID requirements to sign up for and use the site, and all communications between buyers and sellers are encrypted. Finally, a global trading platform that respects your privacy. Visit local.bitcoin.com to get started trading Bitcoin Cash. local.bitcoin.com.
Love what we do? Please help support our international satellite channels at patreon.lrn.fm. That's patreon.lrn.fm.
This is Free Talk Live, 855-450-FREE. That is our toll-free number, 855-450-3733. We have been talking about this poll that found that, I got to look back at this every time because I always get it backwards, 4 out of 10 Republicans, only 4 out of 10, believe that Trump mentioned Biden in the Ukraine call. This is the cornerstone of what the impeachment inquiry in the House of Representatives is. It is that Trump mentioned Biden in a call to the Ukraine. This has been widely reported, and Trump has came out and say, yep, here's the transcript that we're releasing, and yep, I said Biden.
Which, respect to him for responding that way, although I would have respected it more if he had released the audio tape. Has anybody debated, has anybody said that the words on the transcript are inaccurate? Is that among the Democratic talking points?
Well, not yet.
Okay. Because that is an obvious vector of attack to the story as well. You published a transcript that somebody typed out. We don't know that they typed the truth. Of course, with deep fakes, they can't even really prove anything with a recording.
Correct. And with Trump, you can deep fake anything.
Yeah, he's got so much voice out there.
And video.
And video, sure. As a matter of fact, that would be fun. Maybe I should get Trump and Clinton to deep fake endorse me for president or something.
So 60% of Republicans don't believe these things that the president himself said that happened.
Yeah.
60% don't believe that. The story continues. Of course, there are many people who would see these surveys and just chalk it up as Republicans being brainwashed idiots. But those people would be wrong. After all, the fervent left has also proven to be lost in its own partisanship-induced fog. For example, do you remember when Trump dumped all that fish food in that koi pond during a visit with the Japanese prime minister? I don't know. It showed him dumping a bunch of fish food in there, and the left just went nuts. Oh my God, how disrespectful! This is our president. Look at him. He just, threw a bunch.
He doesn't know how to feed Japanese fish.
He doesn't know proper koi technique. So this made the news, and that became a big thing, and there were video clips of it, and the left was going crazy, but they didn't watch the whole video. If you went back further in the tape, not long, like 30 seconds before, you see the Japanese prime minister doing it exactly the same way. Trump did exactly what he did, because I imagine Trump probably doesn't feed a lot of koi, and he was probably looking for, how do I do this? So he watched the guy, and he did just what he did, but the left got a hold of it, and that
clipped it out. And take out the context.
Look at what an embarrassment our president is. But of course, the hyper-partisanship left has no need to bother with such things, because facts aren't what they're using to determine their views of issues. Their partisanship is. So it's both sides. That's the point. It's both sides. We don't care about facts. Yeah. You guys are asking questions about what really happened. I don't think anybody's interested in that.
Orange Man
bad. We are.
Yeah.
Nobody's interested.
Nobody's
Man interested in the truth.
Or Orange Man good. That's what it is. After all, Fishgate is far from the only time the left has done such a thing like this.
To me, the worst was the grab him by the pussy.
You're going to have to dump him for that one. I'm sorry. You can't say that on the radio.
Oh, wow. I thought they'd been saying that all the time.
Yeah, I don't think that you can say that on the radio.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, you got muted there, apparently.
Grab him by the kitty comment, because, basically he follows that by saying when you're a star, they let you do it. Well, that is a report of consent. But yet the left has acted like this was unambiguously a confession to sexual assault.
Yes.
I
thought it was crass.
It was crass.
But again, they're going to make it whatever supports their team. But the Republicans do the same. The Republicans will do the same thing.
I just got bleeped off the radio for being crass. People do it. It's not disqualifying. It doesn't mean you're a bad person. People say things. People get grumpy and say horrible things sometimes, but it doesn't mean they're bad people.
But you will hear the same sort of selectiveness on Fox News as you will on MSNBC and CBS, on CNBC. But the question is, and it's not about the media. The media does their thing, and they're going to do their thing, and none of us can control unless we decide to stop tuning in. That's the only time you ever see change is ratings go suddenly down.
I think it is about the media. I think the media is doing this intentionally.
Right. But what happened to people thinking critically? How about just, trying to find out what you think really happened? If you don't, I don't buy it, and I always try to dig a little deeper.
The thing is, I've gotten to the point where the mainstream media, that when the mainstream media speaks, what I wonder is, okay, this is what they're saying, this is what they want us to believe, what really happened, because I think they're lying to me on both sides.
Well, to go back to what you said there, what happened to people thinking critically? Were they ever thinking critically? Because, the headline of your article refers to tribalism. And what is this, National Review? Who is
National Review, very partisan,
very
source.
Tribal.
Right.
Yeah. So, they're being not as tribal here. They're acknowledging the tribalism on both sides.
Right.
So, people are tribal when it comes to all kinds of things, right? Like you see tribalism in the cryptocurrency world, where there's certain people who are total fanatics or maximalists of one type or another. Former co-host Sam Dodson is a total Ripple maximalist. Nothing can defeat Ripple. Ripple is the greatest thing ever. It's the, God sent Ripple to save us all or whatever. And then you look at religions, and then you look at, we're talking about politics here tonight. Look at sports teams. The people look at their sports team, and it's really mostly based on where they grew up. Like, oh, well, I love the Bucks.
Sure.
Because I grew up in Tampa, even though the Bucks year to year to year are completely different every single year, because there's always new players coming in and other players going out, and these players come from all across the United States. So it's not like those players even came from your area.
Here's the difference. 28 teams in the NFL, 26, 28 teams. Lots of different parties, lots of different factions. In the U.S., I got my choice at 2.
But the tribalism's still there, because you asked about critical thinking.
Right.
The fanatic doesn't think critically about the other guy. The fanatic doesn't think critically about, the person who loves the Patriots isn't thinking critically about the other teams or being fair to them. He's a fanatic.
Sure.
It's his team or the highway.
But now is a sampling of, 10 people, 4 people who actually believe it and 6 people who don't. That's a pretty distinct separation. It's, if you were to ask these 10 Republicans, for example, what's your favorite NFL team? You're going to get answers all over the board, and it's not really going to matter in anyone's life other than somebody who is completely psycho about football.
This doesn't matter in anyone's life.
Unfortunately, it will. It will.
How?
There will be bad things that happen.
What?
Well, for one thing, the people who don't believe that are going to defend the president badly. I don't know that that's a bad thing.
You will have a president. That's the point.
They're going to be basing their arguments on facts that are just provably wrong.
Exactly.
There's going to be a president regardless of how this turns out, so I don't understand how this
more to the point, there will be a bad president no matter how this turns out.
All presidents are...
They're thugs. They're bad people. They hurt peaceful people. So how is this going to affect anything?
I would hope that we can, at some point, begin to think a little bit more about what we do. I'm hoping to use things like this, stories like this, to point out that, you got to talk to your neighbors, talk about what's really going on in this country. And that can be from your point of view. That's okay. But, quit believing that you can only get your news. If you're a Republican, you can only get your news from Fox News. If you're a Democrat, you can only get it from CNN.
Yeah, try RT
no matter
for once.
who you are, you should be listening to Fox News, CNN, Russia Today, and Al Jazeera or BBC at a minimum.
You got to have something outside the U.S.
Remember that every one of these stations is still somebody's mouthpiece.
Sure.
Russia Today may tell the truth sometimes, but it's still Putin's mouthpiece. The difference is it's going to tell the truth different times than the state-controlled American media will tell the truth. Because they all just tell the truth when it coincides with their interests.
If it coincides. 855-450-FREE. That's 855-450. This is Free Talk Live.
Warning, this is a privacy alert. You are being spied on right now as I speak by your phone. If you want this to stop, visit GoDarkBags.com and we'll show you how elite military units protect themselves and how you can too. Go Dark Bags are lab tested and guaranteed for life. Visit GoDarkBags.com now and enter discount code FTL to save 15%. That's GoDarkBags.com. Discount code FTL. Your privacy depends on it. End transmission.
Our history classes start teaching the Constitution around 1776 or even later. The foundation of our Constitution goes deeper than that. Without examining the context that gave America its principles and its founding documents, we cannot understand the foundation of our liberty and our constitutional republic. Liberty First University teaches online classes in a way that all ages find compelling and understandable, from middle school to law school. Join us at lfu.freetalklive.com to watch the free pre-recorded webinar. Watch now at lfu.freetalklive.com.
I'm a little obsessed with My Magic Mud. Several years ago, I met Jessica Armand, the founder and CEO of My Magic Mud, and I didn't even know my teeth were coffee stained. A week's worth of use convinced me, and now I use it every 3 or 4 days. It's clinically proven to whiten teeth, and I think it cleans better, too. My Magic Mud's available at most local health food stores, Sprouts, Natural Grocers, CVS, Walmart's Natural Beauty Aisle, but I can get it for you for 20% off with coupon code FTL20 at mymagicmud.com. FTL20 mymagicmud.com.
Some of you asked, and now we've delivered. LRN.FM's live Keene, New Hampshire studio shows are now streamed in HD on Twitch. Visit our channel at twitch.lrn.fm and give it a follow. If you have Amazon Prime, you get 1 free subscription on Twitch. If you use it on our channel, Twitch will give LRN.FM a monthly piece of your Prime subscription cost. So please watch, follow, share, and subscribe to twitch.lrn.fm. That's twitch.lrn.fm.
You're listening to the live edition of Free Talk Live. Hour number 2 is next after the news here on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
This is the Liberty Beat, your daily source for Liberty news and activist updates. Produced in partnership with SNLS News and listeners like you. Online at libertybeat.news and snls.news. I'm Mick Murrow with your latest edition of the Liberty Beat. Gold is trading at $1,480, silver at $17.27, and Bitcoin is trading around $8,305. Today's prices are brought to you by InnoScale. Take off with Managed Cloud. Looking for a safe, secure way to store your important files online? Let InnoScale handle it for you. Their high-availability cloud servers are the perfect solution for clients needing 1 or more secure, scalable servers with built-in hardware failover protection. For details, see them online at innoscale.net. In the news, a white former Dallas police officer who shot her black unarmed neighbor to death after, she said, mistaking his apartment for her own, was convicted of murder Tuesday in a verdict that prompted tears of relief from his family and chants of Black Lives Matter from a crowd outside the courtroom. The same jury that found Amber Geiger guilty in the September 2018 death of her upstairs neighbor will consider her fate after hearing additional testimony that started Tuesday afternoon. She could be sentenced to from 5 to 99 years in prison under Texas law. The jury took a matter of hours to convict the 31-year-old Geiger after 6 days of testimony. Cheers erupted in the courthouse as the verdict was announced, and someone yelled, quote, "Thank you, Jesus," end quote. After the verdict was read, Geiger sat alone, weeping at the defense table. The Liberty Beat is sponsored in part by Brave Botanicals. High-quality kratom and CBD at reasonable prices with excellent customer service. Brave Botanicals is activist-owned and mission-driven and believes so strongly in the power of kratom, they're giving it away for free. Just go to freeounceofkratom.com for a free ounce of kratom delivered to your door. Just pay shipping. That's freeounceofkratom.com. This is the latest edition of the Liberty Beat. Find us online at libertybeat.news and snls.news. Your news now continues. An illegal march in Hong Kong held on Tuesday to coincide with the 70th anniversary of Communist Party rule in China had mostly petered out by the late afternoon as the bulk of protesters left the starting point near Sogo, according to a report from the Mind Unleashed. But still, as has become a pattern in recent weeks, a small but dedicated group of protesters clashed with police, hurling Molotov cocktails and coming to physical blows. But for the first time since the protest started 4 months ago, a protester was shot by Hong Kong police officers on Tuesday. As video circulating online shows, a group of protesters attacked a police van, hurling sticks and other projectiles. Several officers got out and tried to chase them away, but one of the officers slipped and fell to the ground, where he was assaulted by several protesters. That reportedly led to the firing of several warning shots at the intersection of Waterloo and Nathan Roads in Kowloon. 2 officers suffered head injuries during the attack. Shortly after the incident, during a separate scene on Hoi Pa Street in Tusan Wan, a man was shot in the chest with a live round. A pair of young inventors from Mexico will unveil the very first organic leather made entirely from the nopal, or prickly pear cactus, this week, offering a sustainable, stylish, and eco-friendly alternative to leather. According to a report from the Mind Unleashed, the 2 innovators will be traveling to the Linapel International Leather Trade Exhibition in Milan, Italy, on Wednesday, where they will present the innovative leather substitute to the world's top designers, in hopes that the product can become a staple in the luxury fashion industry. For 2 years, the 2 men worked on creating the leather alternative that they claim is not only environmentally sustainable and entirely plant-based, but is also breathable and lasts for at least a decade. The invention comes as consumers and brands increasingly turn away from inferior faux leathers made with petroleum-based plastics, which are hard to clean and far less breathable than genuine animal leather. Support for the Liberty Beat comes from the Conscious Resistance Network, featuring videos, news reports, and articles from a spiritual anarchist perspective. Experience the Conscious Resistance at theconsciousresistance.com. How would you like to have your business featured on the Liberty Beat? You can. Just send an email to libertybeat@snls.news for details. This is the Liberty Beat, produced in partnership with SNLS News and listeners like you. The Liberty Beat is online at libertybeat.news and snls.news. I'm Mick Murrow, reporting for the Liberty Beat, reminding you, spread liberty with a smile.
We have a breaking news blast on the tragic situation happening across the country, in which more than 40,000 Americans have been trapped in a Confessions animal hoarding marathon on Animal Planet for the last 13 hours. The Animal Hoarders Marathon began at 9 this morning as victims were preparing for a full day before hearing the fateful sound of the show's opening credits. Almost instantly, thousands were pinned to their couches by a story of a heavyset homosexual living with his partner, his toothless sister, and 31 chihuahuas. Rescue workers rushed to free as many victims as they could.
The rope secure? Rope secure. We're gonna get you out of here. Just hold on a second, ma'am.
Wait, I think the next one is about monkeys.
Ready? Ready! Pull!
No, wait. Can I just see what happens with the feral cat?
In other parts of the country, rescue workers enlisted volunteers who had already seen the episodes to spoil them for the victims.
Oh, yeah, this one. This is about the lady living with the dogs in the trailer. She doesn't even get evicted in the end.
This is the Onion News Network.
Free Talk Live.
This is Free Talk Live, 855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733. That's the number to call and get on the air and tell us what is on your mind. What's important to you? What do you want to talk about on a national radio show? This is Open Phones Radio. You don't have to talk about what we're talking about. We've been talking about this polling that came out of Monmouth University that only 4 in 10 Republicans believed that Donald Trump actually said that he mentioned Joe Biden in a conversation with the Ukrainian president. Now, Trump has actually admitted to this. It was in what the White House released, yet 4 in 10 Republicans, only 4 in 10 believe that that actually happened. It was a story of cynicism. It was a story of, I think, partisanship, and
it was the best of stories. It was the worst of stories.
I know. I was trying to go there, but I just couldn't. We're going to change gears, and we're going to go to nobody's home state. Are you originally from Michigan?
I am originally a Michigander. I'm only a New Hampshireite by temperament and immigration. And I'm undocumented, too, mostly.
And this news comes to us from Macomb County in the great state of Michigan, where the police are keeping you safe should you go back, or if you still live in there. Police in Macomb County out looking for shops violating the flavored vape ban. Oh my gosh. So Michigan was one of the few states that has already enacted a ban on all flavored vapes. And I don't know if they've outlawed other things. This story gets into it. Macomb County authorities are on the lookout for retailers who are selling flavored vaping products now that a ban is in full effect in Michigan. Shop owners have had a 2-week grace period in which to educate themselves and comply with Governor Gretchen Whitmer's emergency rules, which cover products with sweet and fruity flavors, including mint and menthol. Now police in Macomb County say they're making the rounds with walk-ins, cadet stings, and other methods to make sure shops are complying with the law and not advertising or displaying flavored vapes.
Now, it says not advertising or displaying. It doesn't say not selling. That's interesting. Is that what the law forbids, is advertising and display?
I'm going to assume that they have a problem with selling it, too.
Well, I would think so, but
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes they restrict advertising without restricting sales. They certainly have done that with cigarettes.
It's completely possible, but I think this did include sales,
My
too.
understanding was it did as well.
But tell me, all of you listening across this formerly great country of ours, are you free? You are, let's say you're an adult, maybe you even served in the military. Maybe you were one of those.
I can't say I'm free, but I can be had at a reasonable price. Maybe
you even fought for our freedom. Maybe you were one of those guys, yet you cannot, as an adult, enjoy a vape. Now, vapes hold a special place in my heart, particularly flavored vapes, because after 35 years of smoking, I haven't touched a cigarette in almost a year, because I found out that I could move over to flavored vapes. Now, there hasn't been any evidence provided by anybody that these vapes, tobacco, nicotine-based vapes, have done any of the problems that led to, a few hundred, I think over 500 people becoming sick, and I think 12 deaths, which seem to be tied to knockoffs coming from China.
And knockoffs of THC vapes.
Yes, and not at all nicotine vapes, but
and the thing is, the idea that regular vapes are involved in this, you would have to believe, because people have been using these things for 10 years, you'd have to believe that everybody used these things for a decade and then they all got sick at just the same time.
Well, not even all of them.
Doesn't make sense.
Tiny percentage did.
Yeah, but all of the people who got sick at the same time.
Right.
So it had to have been something new that was immediate acting entering the supply chain.
And a couple of the stories I've read on it, the Mayo Clinic, where it was given samples to analyze, and they described the damage done, and a lot of the only thing they could tie it back to were THC vapes of unknown origin, and a couple kids said, "Oh, I never used pot. I only, smoked tobacco."
Yeah, a lot of kids say that.
Yeah, they do say that. So it's suspect at best.
Yes. But I suspect they're lying.
I suspect that too. What they did describe it as is almost akin to a chemical burn, and that is not what I get out of my vape. I haven't had any issues like that. That was funny because right then I started to cough.
Yeah.
It's pretty insane. We're going to go to the phones where we've got Olivia calling in from Arizona. Olivia, you're on Free Talk Live.
Hey, Chris. Hey, nobody.
Hey,
Ian.
Olivia.
I don't think Ian's in the room, but
No, we were
Hey.
too hot for Ian. He fell out.
So what's on your mind?
The vape thing. Oh my gosh, that's so frustrating. I wonder if people can still buy online. That would be my question.
Yeah.
Just mail order it.
I don't know. I don't know if certain states are trying to ban that. If they're
Well, the thing is, it's very difficult to ban because basically the components, all of the flavor components, are commonly used artificial flavors. They're the same stuff you would put in grape soda or orange soda.
Or natural
So
flavors.
Those can't be easily restricted, or it could be natural flavors. The base is either propylene glycol or vegetable glycerin, which glycerin is everywhere. Propylene glycol, I'm pretty sure, is commonly used. And nicotine is commonly available as an insecticide. So there's no way they can prevent you from getting the ingredients. They can just prevent you from mixing them before they're sold.
and they can make it a lot easier for people in black markets to find a market.
Oh, yeah. I will
it'll be-
definitely, if they bring this to New Hampshire, I will definitely be selling some vapes on the black market.
They absolutely are bringing it to New Hampshire and to Arizona because Trump has promised that he will ban all flavored vapes.
Yeah, he promised he was going to make the Mexicans pay for the wall, too.
Well, that's true. In this case, though, he does have at least one federal agency behind him actually doing the legwork, and it's insanity. I can't imagine. Your thoughts?
Oh, well, nobody. You'd certainly get my business. I'm actually using my Juul right now. I just open up the pods and refill them, so you'll have some business from me.
Right. Well, groovy. I'm glad to hear it. Do you refill your Juul pods?
Yeah,
A
there's
lot of people
way
do
to
that.
Just like pry them open, and I use like one of those glasses kit, like a glasses repair kit, eyeglasses. One of those tiny screwdrivers. Just pop it open, and I have to say though, Juul has the best quality. So I don't know. It's kind of what you want: volume, quantity, or quality. But I was gonna mention something real quick. These politicians keep arguing back and forth, and it almost gets to the point where I don't really care. They're gonna squabble with each other. But in Japan, they have something neat that's about to happen that I think I'd like to see become a new cultural staple here. They're going to get a new emperor. Emperor Naruhito is supposed to become the new emperor on October 22nd, and they're going to pardon 600,000 petty criminals, which sounds impressive. But when you look at his father, or the previous emperor, Emperor Akihito, he pardoned 2.5 million people in 1990, and I'm like, presidents wait till their term is up, and then they're very stingy with those pardons. What if we adopted this? I think this is a great thing.
I'm going to put you on
Nonviolent prisoners,
hold because
pardon them all.
we will talk about that. This is Free Talk Live.
Free Talk Live is now on more than 200 radio stations nationwide. We've had more than 18 million podcast downloads, and we claim millions of listens a month. We're a multimedia ad venue with print, email, web, and terrestrial radio marketing platforms. We strive to have ad packages that cater to advertisers big and small. Contact me today at marketfreetalklive.com to see what we can do for you. Marketfreetalklive.com. If you're a local advertiser, contact this station. But if you can service a national audience, contact me, Mark at freetalklive.com.
Does your dog itch, scratch, stink, or shed like crazy? Come to Dynavite for help.
Order a 90-day supply of Dynavite.
Dynavite for life.
Pick up 2 tubes of Doggosuds.
Get the 3rd tube free.
Peppermint, tea tree, lavender, Doggosud shampoo.
Made with all-natural coconut, jojoba, aloe. Great for healthy skin and soft, shiny coats.
But no itchy, harsh chemicals.
Lather up, rinse away.
Try Doggosuds. Buy 2, get 1 free.
At Dynavite.com.
DINOVITE.com.
I want to tell you about my favorite cryptocurrency wallet, Edge Wallet, at edge.app. Edge is the wallet I use more than any other, and that was true long before Edge Wallet became a sponsor of Free Talk Live. Edge Wallet allows you to buy, sell, trade, and securely hold your cryptocurrencies, including Bitcoin, Ethereum, tokens, Monero, Ripple, Dash, Bitcoin Cash, and more. It's available for both Android and iOS, and you can download it via the Play or App Store or via Edge Wallet's website, edge.app. Secure your freedom with Edge Wallet.
Free Talk Live is now on more than 200 radio stations nationwide. We've had more than 18 million podcast downloads, and we claim millions of listens a month. We're a multimedia ad venue with print, email, web, and terrestrial radio marketing platforms. We strive to have ad packages that cater to advertisers big and small. Contact me today at marketfreetalklive.com to see what we can do for you. Marketfreetalklive.com. If you're a local advertiser, contact this station. But if you can service a national audience, contact me, marketfreetalklive.com.
Why did you move to the Shire?
I moved here to the Shire because there's other people around who take liberty just as seriously as I do.
I moved to the Shire because I saw videos of people challenging authority and thought that I could get support myself. It called to me, like, do this, right now.
I wanted to be around people like me who got it, and once I got here, I knew there was nowhere else that I wanted to be.
I've always wanted to change the world, so I moved to the Shire to join people who were actually working towards doing the same thing.
The people here are awesome, loving, and positive. It was for the adventure and for the feeling of something important is happening here, and I just wanted to come to sort of be part of that.
Visit ShireSociety.com to read and sign the Shire Society Declaration and learn the reasons why, if you love liberty, you should immigrate to the Shire. Plus, connect with others via the forum at ShireSociety.com. That's ShireSociety.com. So you've heard all 3 hours of the latest episode of Free Talk Live, and you're still hungry for liberty-oriented audio content? Did you know that we have another 24/7 audio stream at LRN.FM? The Liberty Radio Network airs the latest episodes of some of the best liberty-oriented podcasts on the internet around the clock. In addition to recorded content, you'll also hear live shows like Free Talk Live, originating from our Keene, New Hampshire studio. So listen anytime at LRN.FM. That's LRN.FM.
There are basically two types of advertising: direct response and branding. Radio's great for direct response with its low cost to listener ratio, but audio can't be beat for branding, which is a longer term endeavor. You want to be the first thing that someone thinks of when they think about your product or service. If you have a local business that you want kept top of mind in your community, call the station. If you need national reach, Free Talk Live's got around 200 radio stations, millions of monthly listening sessions, can suit all budgets, and if we don't think we're right for you, we'll tell you. Email me, mark@freetalklive.com.
Now you can follow LRN.FM on the decentralized Mastodon social media platform at toot.lrn.fm, toot.lrn.fm.
This is Free Talk Live. 855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733. That's our toll-free number. You can also hit us up on Discord. Load the Discord app on your phone, on your laptop. Use your high-speed internet connection and your quality microphone, and you can call in and sound like you are right here in the studio with us. The us in studio is myself, Chris.
And nobody.
And we lost Ian. We didn't lose him. We know where he's at, but he had a long day, and he looked like he was about ready to drop, so he's getting some shut-eye.
I lost my job. Well, I didn't really lose it. I still know where it is. It's just every time I go there, somebody else is doing it.
We were talking about this story where, 4 out of 10 Trump supporters believe Trump. 6 out of 10 don't believe that he actually had the phone call that is widely reported. It's
I'll bet you could reverse that if you said, was Trump lying when he said he spoke to what he said?
And then you'd have 100%. Yeah, absolutely. No, he didn't.
Well,
Trump,
then the
Trump
Democrats would say yes, because is Trump lying would override the fact that he's not.
Exactly. Exactly. How to have fun with pollsters. We've been talking to Olivia. Olivia was telling us about a change of emperor in Japan and what one positive thing has been. Olivia, you're on Free Talk Live.
Hey, yeah.
You were.
So, can you imagine? Oh, I'm sorry.
No, I was just going to summarize what you were saying. The last time this happened, he's planning on pardoning a number of petty criminals, a large number, and you can give us the numbers again, and we'll take your word for it. But his father had actually pardoned way more than that. What were the numbers you had tossed out there before?
I'm looking at the news story is on the telegram.com, and it says that the upcoming emperor on October 22nd. His name is Emperor Naruhito, and he plans to pardon 600,000 people. But Emperor Akihito in 1990 pardoned 2.5 million people.
Maybe they're running out of felons.
I guess so.
Maybe they only had the 3 million to begin with, and now they're out.
Right, they're going to round up some more.
But you know, these presidents always, or these candidates always promise, oh, we're going to cut spending, we're going to stimulate the economy. Can you imagine what would happen if all these people got out of jail? We wouldn't have to pay for them. Then they could get a job if their records were clean. They could get a job easily. This is a great, cheap way to fulfill some of these campaign promises.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
and then you can cut prison spending, and you can keep the people who really belong in prison in there longer, which, not everybody who's accused is falsely accused.
Yeah, and that's the thing. The U.S., we tend to spend our money, the bulk of our money, locking up people on nonviolent drug-related crimes, and that's really a problem.
Are you familiar with the idea of restorative justice, Olivia?
Is that where you try to rehabilitate people?
What restorative justice is basically, the idea is rather than focusing on punishing the perpetrator, you focus on making the victim whole. So maybe somebody steals $1,000 from me. The goal of a restorative justice system would be to make sure I get my $1,000 back, plus some extra for my trouble. Like a lot of people will say 20%, basically a 20% surcharge, because you put me through a bunch of hassle. And I love that idea for a few reasons. One is because, it doesn't do the victim any good for somebody to sit in jail for the rest of his life. That doesn't make the victim's life better. And also, it would be impossible to have victimless crimes, because what are you going to do? Pay restitution to yourself?
Right. And
exactly. That's so practical.
Restitution is brought up in criminal cases almost as and also you're going to. After we've said you're going to go away for...
it's the least important part.
Right. And it should be the most important part.
I definitely agree with that.
Yep.
Make people whole when they're hot. And while you're at it, as somebody who's I don't know how many of y'all are aware of this, but over the last year, I have been the victim of at least 3 false arrests and 2 malicious prosecutions for felonies. And all my charges are now gone. I beat the last one yesterday, but if I hadn't had, not to toot my own horn, but enough courage to stand up to these people and say, I'm willing to risk 3.5 to 7 years of my life to be right, I would have just taken the plea. And that's very scary. Innocent people take pleas every day.
Every day. Final thoughts, Olivia?
No, you're right. Number one, that's a brilliant solution. That just makes too much sense, I guess, for our government to do. And number two, thank you for fighting these charges, because you're right. People do get terrified. I mean, 7 years with a strip search every day is pretty terrifying. So thank you so much for all your activism.
Yep. Thanks a lot, Olivia. Yeah, Rich, that's nobody. That's a big win.
It really was. I was delighted, and especially because if you think of the implications, if I had been convicted of being a felon in possession of a machete, basically that would have meant that a felon could not do any job where he had to handle anything hard, heavy, or sharp.
Right.
Because you can kill somebody with anything that's hard, heavy, or sharp.
Right.
So, that would have been a terrible setback. And the more you exclude felons from society, the more likely they are to break the law, because they're not going to comply themselves to death. If it comes down to comply and starve or break the law, I'm going to break the law every time.
But Michigan seems to think that it's going to be better to make more people into criminals.
Michigan's an idiot.
Michigan is. Michigan has enacted a ban on all flavored vape products, and in Macomb County, and that is where Detroit is?
Yeah.
Or close to, in the metropolitan area.
Yeah, Macomb County, I believe, holds downtown Detroit.
Yeah, the police have said that they are going to start, really busting heads. They got to really get in there and find out if anybody is selling any blueberry fizz, raspberry frapple vape juice, because my God, think of the children. So they're going to come down even harder.
Because only children would like flavored vape juice. Like, what do you use? You use tobacco, right?
No, the first vape juice I tried was tobacco because I was a recovering smoker.
Right.
And it was something I was familiar with. And guess what? It didn't taste good. So the guy at the shop said, hey, you should try this one. Sweet Tobaccocino. It doesn't taste like tobacco. It tastes like a cappuccino. And it's delicious. And it doesn't taste like cigarettes. That's what I wanted.
Are you pretending to be older than you are? Are you really 14?
At least. It's insane that people believe they can stop this stuff and they won't. It's just black market. 855 450 free. This is Free Talk Live.
Do you have a crypto wealth advisor or coach? If so, has your cryptocurrency advisor been investing in technology stocks for over 20 years? Have they left the corporate world and retired? Or are they still trying to make a weekly paycheck? Have they produced six-figure results for their customers in the past 30 days? And very importantly, are they a member of the Digital Currency Council? Seth Maniscalco is the founder of Crypto Wealth Coach and CryptoWealthCoach.com. Seth invested in his first Roth IRA at 19 years old while living abroad and has been investing in Wall Street and technology for over 20 years. With experience in all the money markets. By comparison, so many of these so-called crypto gurus have barely been alive for 20 years. Seth has not only experienced personal success from his own investments in crypto, he has also helped his clients earn 6- and 7-figure incomes, including helping investors make over $750,000 in EOS in 90 days and 1,225% in only 5.5 months with Chainlink. Seth has help for the small do-it-yourself guy on up to crypto whales. Increase your wealth. Visit CryptoWealthCoach.com.
So the protection of life, liberty, and property is what the Free State Project is all about. But it's an effort to move 20,000 people who understand.
It's about demonstrating to the entire country
that, yeah, we can have a free market, a truly free market. Making it just a freer, great place to live.
It's the world's largest voluntarist libertarian community, and it's only getting bigger.
That's amazing, to be able to move to a place where other people passionately believe in being free and independent.
What the Free State Project is managing to do, though, is to put their money where their mouth is. It's physically getting up across the country and saying, let's go someplace and let's demonstrate the power of these ideas. There's a lot of kind of philosophy that surrounds liberty. There's a lot of thinking about it and talking about it. But here in New Hampshire, people are doing it.
101 Reasons Liberty Lives in New Hampshire, a documentary by Free State Project Early Movers. Watch it free at 101reasonsfilm.com. 101reasonsfilm.com. What do you shop for that you could otherwise buy at Amazon? Pretty much everything, right? Amazon has competitive pricing and they deliver, and that's a big plus. If you could plan ahead in your shopping, would you be interested in saving up to 33%? There's a catch. You have to do your shopping in Bitcoin. But imagine those savings. It's like a huge raise. All you have to do is go to saveitpurse.com. We've saved thousands, and you can too. Plan ahead and save. Saveitpurse.com. If you want to know the latest about Free Talk Live before we go on the air, all you need to decide is how you want it delivered. It's your choice. Visit news.freetalklive.com to receive our usually weekly news updates by email. Plus, we have a Twitter account at twitter.freetalklive.com, and you can follow us on the decentralized Mastodon platform at toot.freetalklive.com. So please follow us at toot.freetalklive.com and sign up for our emails at news.freetalklive.com.
You know how annoying it is when someone keeps stopping mid-sentence as though he or she were asking you a series of questions? Avoid doing that. It sounds unnervingly tentative, and it imposes upon the listener to help you complete the thought. And if you're a job seeker, this alone could be a deal killer. An effective communicator sounds more confident. Complete the thought. Avoid making the listener impatient. With money and attention so scarce now, effective communication skills have never been more important. Cutting through the clutter rather than blending into the blah, blah, blah will help you connect better no matter what the conversation. For more tips, hit survivalspeech.com. I'm Holland Cook. survivalspeech.com.
This is the Liberty Radio Network, broadcasting the latest liberty-oriented audio content 24 hours a day at LRN.FM.
This is Free Talk Live. 800-855-45. Jeez, I'm sorry about that, folks. 855-450-FREE. That's our toll-free number. That's 855-450-3733. That's the number to call if you'd like to get on the air and talk to someone with Lyme disease, because my brain is fine 1 minute, and the next minute it is
He's got
just
the lime in the coconut.
I do literally have the lime in the coconut. But first, I wanted to tell you about AnyPay, or HelpMeTakeBitcoin.com. Do you operate a retail business, and are you looking for a solution for point-of-sale cryptocurrency acceptance? It's never been easier thanks to HelpMeTakeBitcoin.com. There's no paperwork, no approval process for you to go through. You just open an account. If you already have a tablet at your cash register, you're almost done. Just visit helpmetakebitcoin.com and follow the simple steps. That's all you got to do. Within moments, you'll be accepting cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin and Dash at your store. Get ready and get started now at helpmetakebitcoin.com. That's helpmetakebitcoin.com. I got to say, our store does not ring up like, it's not like 70% of our transactions today were in Bitcoin. It's not like that at all. The acceptance of cryptocurrencies just isn't there. It's growing. I can tell you it's growing. I've been accepting cryptocurrencies for 5 years. So every month it's a little bit more. But still, people will mostly use traditional methods. They'll use debit cards, credit cards, or cash. That's what the bulk of transactions are. But there is that percentage, and that goes into my pocket directly through AnyPay and HelpMeTakeBitcoin.com. It's a great way to expand your business and be able to accept more types of ways for people to pay the way they want to pay.
And do you offer a discount when people buy with crypto?
I do 5% off. I do that because I don't have to pay credit card fees. It's virtually free when you use cryptocurrency. And basically, I want to accumulate cryptocurrency. Cash, US dollars, there's no value in accumulating them because they're going to be worth less tomorrow than they are today. That's because fiat currencies like the US dollar are inflationary. They lose value. That's why you spend $2.50 or $3 on a loaf of bread when you can remember in your lifetime. I'll bet you can remember when it was $1.50. I'll bet you can remember, maybe some of you, when it's 50 cents. I remember when it was $0.25 for a loaf of bread. That's not that it's more expensive to create a loaf of bread. It just means that your money isn't worth as much as it used to be, and that's a shame. That's why Ron Paul referred to that as the hidden tax.
Yes.
The idea that you can, and it allows governments to fight expensive wars, so it's got that going for it.
Oh, happy day.
Happy day.
Taxpayer pride.
Exactly. We've been talking Macomb County, Michigan, where they say they are going to crack down on vape shops that are not obeying the authority of the governor, who has put a ban on all flavored vaping products. This is in effect now. They're going to use sting operations. They're going to send in young or older-looking cadets or younger-looking cadets to try to trick them up.
Cadets.
It's just insane. Right. Sterling Heights Police Chief Dale, the last name starts with a D, and we'll leave it at that, said his office has been inundated
Dale D.
with complaints from local schools about fruity fruit flavors and candy-flavored e-cigarettes in the hands of students. All right, Police Chief Dale, and I'll try to pronounce this, Dwaljakowski, and that's probably butchering his name. I don't think that your office has truly been inundated with complaints from local schools.
Well, they might have been if the teachers union decided to get together and all call the police chief.
That might be the case. But are you really inundated with calls? Is that the most important thing going on? That you are
if he's
taking
getting
calls?
that many calls about kids having vapes, how many calls does he get about kids having heroin?
Right.
Must be millions.
Oh, God forbid. Yeah. Let's see. This continues. Quote, parents should be aware of those little pens they see in their kids' bedrooms. Little things that look like USB drives. They don't even know what they are. Those are vaping cartridges, vaping pens.
Or possibly USB drives.
Sheriff Dale D. Shop owners who continue to sell outlawed products early on will get a warning, with those refusing to comply will be slapped with fines and a 6-month misdemeanor.
When vapes are outlawed, only outlaws will have vapes.
Let's see. Pablo Isaac, who runs a vape shop in Fraser, said the banned products account for 70% of his business that can't be made up.
Right. So they're looking to shut down the vape stores.
They are, and by extension, the entire industry.
Right.
Which
the entire industry, except the part of it that's being run by big tobacco.
Right.
And that's going to be, that's the whole point, is they want to give big government or big tobacco a regulatory monopoly so they can recapture the money that they were making, because there was they were making an awful lot of money off cigarette taxes and off the cigarette lawsuit that now, with fewer people smoking, the government is losing money. And big tobacco is losing money, and big pharma is losing money because fewer people are going to get cancer. And so they need to find ways to get that money back.
Well, and that's sort of the problem is, the facts are that adults and children, because they've got this down to the youngest ages, across all age groups, tobacco use has been falling, and it's been falling for a long time, and it continues to fall. This year is lower than last year. When you add in vapes, it is still following. Less kids, fewer kids are interested in inhaling something that has nicotine in it. That's just a fact. It's completely ignored in all the stories, but Reason.com has done some great work on breaking down the findings.
I love Reason.
Yeah, too few people do. Reason in general, not just the magazine.
Indeed.
Yeah. But this idea, and I think you're right. I think it's probably a little bit, some senator or some representative is, going to their tobacco lobbyist saying, "See, I told you we had your back." It's not going to be like it was before, but we'll do what we can for you. Yeah. Now, meanwhile, flavored vapes, and the UK has done some great studies on this, attribute more people quitting smoking, more people that have been smokers their whole lives or for a long time, to flavored vapes. The last thing I want is some government-approved thing that tastes like tobacco when it's tobacco that I want to get away from.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
Let this dispel any remaining belief you may have that the government cares about your health. The government doesn't care if you die. They don't care a bit.
No, they also don't care about small businesses. And this is Pablo Isaac, who runs a vape shop. Quote, taking the loss as far as the inventory itself is not a huge issue, But it's not the inventory that's really the issue. It's the fact that customers that came in here to purchase that I sold, I lost also. He told Dewey. So now a business as a whole took a loss. Isaac says says officials claim they're concerned with public health, but there is an ulterior motive. What do you think? I mean, should these vapes be outlawed everywhere because somewhere less than 24 kids died? 855-450-FREE. This is Free Talk Live.
Would you like to get back that full head of hair from years past? Introducing Reveal from GCNLife.com. Beverly Hills dermatologist Dr. Nathan Newman invented Reveal, which contains polypeptides with natural botanicals and no parabens, sulfates, silicones, or dyes for a salon-quality hair growth product. Reveal. Here's Dr. Newman.
I've treated a lot of patients who lose their hair and they lose their confidence. We've created a unique set of polypeptides, which we call HPT6. The HPT6 contains the polypeptides from 6 different plants. The scalp infusion treatment should be used on wet or dry scalp. The Reveal hair care system is designed to be used for men and women alike.
Get Reveal at GCNLife.com with a 30-day money-back guarantee. So try Reveal today at GCNLife.com or 844-443-6637. Plus a discount up to 25% off for Reveal at GCNLife.com or 844-443-6637.
Let me ask you something. What are you doing when you put money in a 401k or IRA, or store jumper cables in your vehicle, or purchase health insurance? You're preparing. You're preparing to ensure you have enough money for retirement. You're preparing for when your car battery dies, or to have assistance paying a major unexpected medical bill. That all makes sense. The same goes for building a food storage plan. You're preparing for when emergencies or disasters strike and shelves go empty at your grocery store. The best way to prepare is with My Patriot Supply. They've helped 1 million hardworking Americans become more self-sufficient. My Patriot Supply sells hundreds of items, including dozens of emergency food kits at MyPatriotSupply.com. It could be an earthquake, a cyber attack freezing our banking system, or a disaster that shuts down our power grid for weeks. For all these emergencies and more, get your supplies and prepare today at MyPatriotSupply.com. No more rushing to find empty store shelves because you're too late. Do it now so you're ready. MyPatriotSupply.com.
Free Talk Live.
How dare you, and who do you think you are? I mean, it's my life, it's my business. I should be able to run it how I want to, and my customers should be able to make the choice for themselves as to whether or not they want to do business with me. And they should be able to make that choice based on the quality of my product or my reputation or the fact that I've got third-party certification or whatever factors they deem important. If I'm doing business and you don't trust me or you think I'm shady, then you don't have to do business with me. In fact, you can tell other people what you think about my business and my practices, and maybe they also will join you in not doing business with me. There's no need for government regulations out there. The marketplace can handle third-party certification of various different products and services to where people who are concerned about whether or not the business they're dealing with is trustworthy can check with a verifiable resource that indeed this is a trustworthy individual or a trustworthy company that you're doing business with.
Free Talk Live, 7 nights a week from 7 to 10 Eastern, live on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
There are lots of ways to listen to Free Talk Live. Our podcast has been around since podcasts began, and now the FTL feed is loaded with content besides our full show archives. Did you know that we make it easy for you to customize your podcast subscriptions? We have different feeds, one that includes only our full shows, one with just the Daily Digest, and one with just the Edgington Post. You decide what you listen to. It's quick and easy to customize your feeds at feeds.freetalklive.com. That's feeds.freetalklive.com.
Looking for a great real estate investment? Consider New Hampshire, which is ground zero for the Liberty Movement. Your first call should be to Mark Worden from Porcupine Real Estate. He's more than just a real estate agent. He's your New Hampshire concierge. Where are the best places to live? Do you want farm, city, the burbs, or forest? Do you want a duplex or multifamily building so that renters pay your mortgage? There are homes in all price ranges in New Hampshire, and Mark can help with financing too. Invest in liberty and property. Mark Worden can help.
PorcupineRealEstate.com.
You can sign up to receive the latest about the Liberty Radio Network via our email updates at updates.lrn.fm. That's updates.lrn.fm.
Yeah!
This is Free Talk Live, 855-450-FREE. That's our toll-free number. That's the number you can call to get on the radio, 855-450-3733. This is Open Phones Radio. It is always Open Phones Radio. That means you can bring up any topic you like. And we don't care. If it's interesting, we'll talk about it. And if it's not, well, you brought it up, so you got to talk about it. And then we may not have talked about it. But at first, I want to tell you about
Could
local.
I punctuate that for you? It was, we don't care, semicolon. If it's interesting, we'll talk about it. Not, we don't care if it's interesting, we'll talk about it.
Fair enough. Nobody is our CEO, chief officer of punctuation. So when I miss something like that or make it questionable, he will pipe right up and let me. He'll explain it to you, the listener, because you probably didn't understand what the heck I was saying. And that's happening.
When I come for the grammar Nazi, I say there.
Oh, that was good. I want to tell you about local.bitcoin.com. Bitcoin.com has launched a trading platform at local.bitcoin.com, allowing you to buy and sell Bitcoin Cash via dozens of payment methods like PayPal, Venmo, bank deposit, remittances, or just meeting in person with cash. There are no ID requirements to sign up for and use the site, and all communications between buyers and sellers are encrypted. Finally, a global trading platform that respects your privacy. Visit local.bitcoin.com to get started trading Bitcoin Cash. That's local.bitcoin.com. And we've been talking about this epidemic, this disaster of epic proportions, this national emergency. I'm trying to think of what else I've seen to describe the tragedy of somewhere
you mean the
around
pointless legislation epidemic.
Yeah, there we go. The government will have you believe that nicotine-based flavored vapes are to blame for all these deaths. By all these, I mean somewhere less than a dozen, and millions of people. By millions of people, I mean less than 600 people getting sick from, admittedly, smoking questionably sourced THC. That's the ingredient in marijuana that gets you high. THC vapes, and has nothing to do with tobacco. And
for the record, has nothing to do with THC either. It's vitamin C or vitamin A acetate
vitamin
that's being
E.
found in these. Vitamin E acetate.
Yes.
Yeah, just any old letter will do.
Yeah.
But
that's
being found in these vapes.
Yeah, vitamin E acetate is sometimes, first of all, it's used in things like hand cream. Important tip, just because you can rub it on your skin and make your skin soft doesn't mean you should light it or burn it and inhale the vapors.
Or vaporize it, which is what vapes do.
Yeah, and it's just insane. They have not conclusively found a link to any nicotine-based vape product. Now, nicotine-based vape products, they can be found on black markets too, but the problem is there really isn't a big reason to go on a black market for things that you, up until at least today in the state of New Hampshire, I can go into a store and buy legally, and I can choose which one. I can look for ones that are well-known manufacturers, I don't have to take my chances with something I get over the dark net, that's what's going to be happening. It's going to be another black market that actually does kill people.
Yeah. And the only real option is going, if you want to avoid dangerous products, then is going to be to buy the stuff yourself and mix it yourself, or get it from somebody that you really trust.
Yeah, and I really do hope that this creates a little, home industry of people making flavors for themselves with products that they know. If you don't have the skill, you're not going to do it. I hope you don't do it. I hope nobody gets hurt by doing something they shouldn't have even tried in the first place.
Well, the biggest danger to mixing your own vape juice is that nicotine can be absorbed through the skin, and too much nicotine will kill you.
Yeah, it is poisonous.
So it can cause a heart attack. So be very careful to wear rubber gloves when you're handling large amounts of nicotine.
Yeah, but I'll tell you one thing that nicotine doesn't do. This comes as a surprise to many people, is it doesn't cause cancer.
No. All the other combustion products of tobacco cause cancer,
Right.
but not nicotine.
Right. You can look at the tobacco leaf burning on fire and you inhaling smoke. Those things cause cancer. But the simple nicotine itself, as is found in a vape, that doesn't kill you. And this is some of the, I'll tell you, the UK, it's not often I give props to a government agency, even if it's not my government. But the UK Department of Health has done a amazing job in disproving some of the myths around vapes, and they've done it. They have now. I was reading last week or two. They have opened up hospitals as places where vape shops can now open up in England.
Nice.
So literally, it's not.
The Brits are wrong
vapes.
about a lot of things, but once in a while they get one right.
This is one where, because they look at it pragmatically, they say that we have people that smoke cigarettes, and we know that kills about, in England, about 100,000 people per year.
Mm-hmm.
We have looked at vapes for about 10 years, and we can't really find. They're hedging their bets, and they're saying it's only a 95% reduction in harm.
And, it does show some of the differences in incentive between their socialist healthcare system and our capitalist healthcare system, because, companies do make a profit here off making people sick. The problem is people won't voluntarily pay to be made sick.
Do you think we have a capitalist system?
Well, we have a more capitalist system than they do in Britain, where the means of production of healthcare are literally owned by the government, which to a Marxist means by the people. I don't know when the last time a Marxist tried to vote for a war to end. That should dispel that illusion very quickly. But the problem is, so the incentive there is to save money on medical care. The incentive here is to sell as much medical care as possible, but there's a necessary ingredient here. If the medical industry did not have the ability to use the government as muscle,
they do,
to enforce regulations, to ban vapes, to ban marijuana and ecstasy, which can be more effective as antidepressants than any of the garbage big pharma sells.
Everybody's against monopolies, but the government has no problem giving monopolies to big pharma.
Exactly.
And
when they become a cartel, they become a problem.
Yeah, that doesn't work for us.
And this plays out in the economic realm too. If you look back, Google Dr. Glut and look for articles from the 1980s and the 1990s where the AMA is saying there's going to be a glut of doctors. Now, of course, glut in industry speak means there are going to be enough doctors that doctors are going to have to cut their prices.
Right.
In 2017. So what did they do? They went to the government. They said, let's cut medical school enrollments by 17%. And that's exactly what they did.
Solved.
Well, what they did is they induced a massive shortage of doctors. And of course, when you have a shortage of doctors, what else do you get? High prices for doctors. So the AMA, although it pretends it's interested in your health, it's operating as a labor union and nothing else. It's trying to get its members more money, and it's trying to get its members more money by making your life worse.
Yes, and The AMA has been doing this for over 100 years. This is not a new thing. This has been going on. It's happened to reach its point of really, really, really doing some severe damage. That's been since the 50s. I mean,
Is there
really
an AMA office in New Hampshire?
Oh, I'm sure they must have lobbyists somewhere.
We should protest them if they have a physical place to protest.
Should we protest obscene medical costs at the AMA? 855-450 free. This is Free Talk Live.
Balance of Nature. Changing the world, one life at a time.
I really haven't been sick. People in my house come down with whatever's going around, but it passes me by, and I just take a couple of more, just in case. But I really haven't been sick since I started taking them, And my energy level is a lot better. I'm walking around, and I can do 5 miles a day. Oh, I'll tell you, I'm a firm believer in it, don't mess with success.
Experience the Balance of Nature difference for yourself. Receive 25% off your first preferred purchase of Balance of Nature. Plus, get a set of convenient travel bottles containing a free additional week's supply of Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies. With these discounts, you will still receive free shipping on every order. Call 800-2468-751 or go to balanceofnature.com and use discount code FREETALKLIVE.
Are you tired of governments murdering people around the world? Stop using their money. There is an alternative. Bitcoin is a stateless, free market, non-political currency. Bitcoin cannot be inflated or controlled by any government. By using their money, you're helping the state. Stop doing it. You have an incredible alternative available now. Learn it, use it, spread it. Get started with Bitcoin at bitcoin.com. That's bitcoin.com. LRN.FM now has a Discord. Discord is a free text and voice chat platform, and we now have our own server with a bunch of channels at discord.lrn.fm. You can join other listeners as they chat about various things during our live shows, or anytime, day or night. Discord software is available cross-platform, so you can have it on whatever device you want and take your chats anywhere. Join our Discord at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm.
You're listening to the live edition of Free Talk Live. Hour number 3 is next after the news here on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
This is the Liberty Beat, your daily source for Liberty news and activist updates. Produced in partnership with SNLS News and listeners like you. Online at libertybeat.news and snls.news. I'm Mick Murrow with your latest edition of the Liberty Beat. Gold is trading at $1,480, silver at $17.27, and Bitcoin is trading around $8,305. Today's prices are brought to you by InnoScale. Take off with Managed Cloud. Looking for a safe, secure way to store your important files online? Let InnoScale handle it for you. Their high-availability cloud servers are the perfect solution for clients needing one or more secure, scalable servers with built-in hardware failover protection. For details, see them online at innoscale.net. In the news, a white former Dallas police officer who shot her black unarmed neighbor to death after, she said, mistaking his apartment for her own, was convicted of murder Tuesday in a verdict that prompted tears of relief from his family and chants of Black Lives Matter from a crowd outside the courtroom. The same jury that found Amber Geiger guilty in the September 2018 death of her upstairs neighbor will consider her fate after hearing additional testimony that started Tuesday afternoon. She could be sentenced to from 5 to 99 years in prison under Texas law. The jury took a matter of hours to convict the 31-year-old Geiger after 6 days of testimony. Cheers erupted in the courthouse as the verdict was announced, and someone yelled, quote, "Thank you, Jesus," end quote. After the verdict was read, Geiger sat alone, weeping at the defense table. The Liberty Beat is sponsored in part by Brave Botanicals. High-quality kratom and CBD at reasonable prices with excellent customer service. Brave Botanicals is activist-owned and mission-driven and believes so strongly in the power of kratom, they're giving it away for free. Just go to freeounceofkratom.com for a free ounce of kratom delivered to your door. Just pay shipping. That's freeounceofkratom.com. This is the latest edition of the Liberty Beat. Find us online at libertybeat.news and snls.news. Your news now continues. An illegal march in Hong Kong held on Tuesday to coincide with the 70th anniversary of Communist Party rule in China had mostly petered out by the late afternoon as the bulk of protesters left the starting point near Sogo, according to a report from the Mind Unleashed. But still, as has become a pattern in recent weeks, a small but dedicated group of protesters clashed with police, hurling Molotov cocktails and coming to physical blows. But for the first time since the protest started 4 months ago, a protester was shot by Hong Kong police officers on Tuesday. As video circulating online shows, a group of protesters attacked a police van, hurling sticks and other projectiles. Several officers got out and tried to chase them away, but one of the officers slipped and fell to the ground, where he was assaulted by several protesters. That reportedly led to the firing of several warning shots at the intersection of Waterloo and Nathan Roads in Kowloon. 2 officers suffered head injuries during the attack. Shortly after the incident, during a separate scene on Hoi Pa Street in Tusan Wan, a man was shot in the chest with a live round. A pair of young inventors from Mexico will unveil the very first organic leather made entirely from the nopal, or prickly pear cactus, this week, offering a sustainable, stylish, and eco-friendly alternative to leather. According to a report from the Mind Unleashed, the 2 innovators will be traveling to the Linapel International Leather Trade Exhibition in Milan, Italy, on Wednesday, where they will present the innovative leather substitute to the world's top designers, in hopes that the product can become a staple in the luxury fashion industry. For 2 years, the 2 men worked on creating the leather alternative that they claim is not only environmentally sustainable and entirely plant-based, but is also breathable and lasts for at least a decade. The invention comes as consumers and brands increasingly turn away from inferior faux leathers made with petroleum-based plastics, which are hard to clean and far less breathable than genuine animal leather. Support for the Liberty Beat comes from the Conscious Resistance Network, featuring videos, news reports, and articles from a spiritual anarchist perspective. Experience the Conscious Resistance at theconsciousresistance.com. How would you like to have your business featured on the Liberty Beat? You can. Just send an email to libertybeat@snls.news for details. This is the Liberty Beat, produced in partnership with SNLS News and listeners like you. The Liberty Beat is online at libertybeat.news and snls.news. I'm Mick Murrow, reporting for the Liberty Beat, reminding you, spread liberty with a smile.
It's the Onion Radio News. General Motors reports record sales of its new disposable car. This is Doyle Redland reporting. General Motors has announced a 56% increase in earnings this year, attributing much of it to February's wildly successful launch of the GMC Whim, the first ever non-refillable disposable automobile. Debuting at a cost of $1,100 each, the vehicles are flying out of showrooms as quickly as dealers can stock them. Whim enthusiast Glenn Shriver.
I recently consumed 4 vehicles driving from my home to Daytona Beach for the first annual Whim Owners Convention. I've already collected all 8 colors.
Rival automakers are preparing to counter with their own lines of disposable cars, including the Ford Temporare and the Chrysler Dumper. The 2002 Mitsubishi Ditch will be unveiled later this year with a projected sticker price of $799. Doyle Redland for the Onion Radio News, online at theonion.com.
Free Talk Live.
This is Free Talk Live. 855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733. That's our toll-free number. That's the number you call to tell us what is on your mind. And any topic is up for grabs. This is Open Phones Radio. You can talk about whatever you wish. In studio, it's Chris.
And nobody.
And we used to have Ian, but Ian...
We lost him.
We lost him. We know where he is.
It's true.
We do, but he's...
Just every time we go there, he's asleep.
He's a little tired. But I wanted to tell you about Balance of Nature. Good nutrition is key to looking and feeling great. However, eating right all the time can be a challenge. Travel, work schedules can get in the way, or you may not have the desire or time to shop and cook the right foods. Balance of Nature has the solution with just 3 of the Balance of Nature fruit capsules and 3 of their veggie capsules. You get 10 servings of fruits and vegetables, and that is a lot of nutrition. For a limited time, you can get free shipping plus a free set of fruits and veggies. Go to balanceofnature.com and use discount code FTL. That's balanceofnature.com. Use discount code FTL and get some free shipping and some free capsules. I like them. What I have yet to do, and other people have talked about doing this, is taking the fruit capsules, sprinkling them on like ice cream. I've heard that is just a nice topping. Because there's all kinds of fruits. It's pretty interesting. We have been talking about, we started off talking about this article that said that 4 out of 10 Republicans or I should say 6 out of 10, didn't believe that Trump had mentioned Biden in a conversation with the Ukrainian president, even though he said he did. It was, I guess the story would be best described as a cynical look at today's American politics and its partisanship. But, it's the same thing. And before all you Democrats decide to say, well, that's because Republicans are stupid, Democrats, you've fallen for the same sorts of questions when they've been polled too. It's just a choice of people to believe mainstream media. I think that's our conclusion, and not really look for facts, because there's not a pretty news lady reading them to you. So we're going to go to the phones, where we've got Matt in Connecticut. Matt, you're on Free Talk Live. What's on your mind?
Hey, guys, I just wanted to take issue with what you were saying about cigarettes. Now, my father died of cancer from smoking cigarettes.
I'm sorry to hear that.
It was actually emphysema. Yeah, he was a great guy, 80 years old. So I know a little about this. And if you actually look into it, both nicotine and tar have, many different cancer-causing chemicals. So
nicotine is only one chemical.
Nicotine is a single chemical. Now, if your assertion that nicotine is carcinogenous, and it may have some carcinogenic properties, but studies not performed by our government, by other governments, have stated that that's... there was an interesting point that I read, and the point was this: we need to stop demonizing nicotine. And the point is, we have to, if you're going to demonize something, demonize the delivery mechanism of burning up tubes of dry leaves into your lungs.
That's true.
And I don't know if it's true. I only can go by what I've read, what I've self-educated. But the idea that, for me, I smoked for 35 years. It's a disgusting habit. Every day I was sorry I ever took it up, but I couldn't quit it. It's an addictive.
Very hard to quit.
It is.
Yeah. And, it makes, one of the things that I love about vaping as opposed to smoking is now when I'm home in Michigan, I can go sit next to my mom on the sofa and watch a whole TV show and talk to her during the commercials instead of being outside smoking a cigarette. That is really nice. Or being able to do this show without running outside to do a cigarette every station break.
Yeah. And I guess, from my point of view, I've decreased my nicotine in the vape juice that I happen to use. Mm-hmm. Their scale is, I went from a 50 to a 35. Mm-hmm. That's been the first step I've taken. So I've taken something off of, a full rush hit of nicotine down to, not quite half, but I'm going there. Maybe next year I'll take another drop.
You went from 50 to 35?
Yeah.
So that's a 40% drop.
Good to cut.
Yeah.
To cut down a little bit.
And what it does is it eliminates part of the thing that's got me addicted. Now, my goal eventually is, I want to be off of nicotine entirely. I don't want to have one thing running my life, but with vaping, if it is truly a 95% reduction in harm, I figure I've bought myself some time.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Yeah, you make some good points. Thanks for taking my call.
Hey, thank you for calling. That's what it is, and that's what the British are pursuing. It's not about, trying to alter people's minds by draconian measures. They know that when they outlawed, and it's prohibition. It's no different than what we did with booze in the 1920s and the 1930s. It didn't work. All you created was a huge black market.
And it's not partisan either. Both sides are crying for the nanny state. The Democrats and Republicans working together because, their owners want us smoking cigarettes.
Well, and it amazes me because I spent a long, long time as a card-carrying Republican, and I was active for a lot of those years, and I'm not necessarily proud of it, but it was just part of who I was. But the idea, I think Republicans created the term nanny state as a derisive term to describe Democrats who really wanted to control lots of aspects of their lives.
But yet the Republicans want a nanny state just as much.
And they are pushing
harder. They want
harder.
it on abortion and sex and a lot of other things.
Right. And, it's one of those things. And this vape ban that Trump proposes and is trying to enact is exactly a nanny state. It is the very definition of a nanny state. Do we have any nanny state, pro-nanny state Republicans? I'd love for them to call in. Tell me why your nanny state is going to be better than the Democrat nanny state. We're going to stay on the phones where we've got Jimmy in Illinois. Jimmy, you're on Free Talk Live. What's on your mind? Looks like we dropped him. But this idea,
Jimmy.
I know. But this idea that you can act like a tyrant when your team is in power, Trump, he's our tyrant, so it's fine.
It's not my tyrant.
Exactly. Even though we are the Republicans claim to be the defenders of the Second Amendment, and God forbid, Barack Obama, he was going to ban all these guns, and how long did it take before we got the bump stock ban, which turned a firearm accessory magically by waving a government wand over a piece of plastic, over a firearms accessory, turned it into a machine gun, and then the government says we can now regulate that because that's a machine gun.
And technically, I think rubber bands are also machine guns.
Well, yeah, you can train how to bump fire. I mean, that's pretty easy. You don't even need a rubber band. Rubber band makes it easier, though. But yeah, so what's next, Mr. Trump? Are you going to ban fingers? Are you going to ban rubber bands because they could be used to bump fire? Yeah. It's insanity.
And
no.
I'm the opposite of you. I come from the left, and my father was Democratic, but guns for me were always a no-brainer because I spent 1.5 years in a military academy, and my ex-military tactical officer explained to me why we had a Second Amendment. He said the Second Amendment exists so they can shoot us, meaning military and law enforcement, if we get out of hand.
Wow. 855-450-FREE. This is Free Talk Live.
Business owners, you want more customers? Accept cryptocurrencies. There's people all around you just waiting to spend money at your store. If only you would take it. I know, you've been waiting till someone else makes it easy. Well, good news. HelpMeTakeBitcoin.com adds Bitcoin to your point of sale, totally free. Use the same equipment you already have, now with Bitcoin. And unlike credit cards, there's no fees. Let the guys at HelpMeTakeBitcoin.com bring new customers to your store. HelpMeTakeBitcoin.com.
Warning, this is a privacy alert. You are being spied on right now as I speak by your phone. If you want this to stop, visit GoDarkBags.com and we'll show you how elite military units protect themselves and how you can too. Go Dark Bags are lab tested and guaranteed for life. Visit GoDarkBags.com now and enter discount code FTL to save 15%. That's GoDarkBags.com. Discount code FTL. Your privacy depends on it. End transmission.
Free Talk Live is now on more than 200 radio stations nationwide. We've had more than 18 million podcast downloads, and we claim millions of listens a month. We're a multimedia ad venue with print, email, web, and terrestrial radio marketing platforms. We strive to have ad packages that cater to advertisers big and small. Contact me today at mark@freetalklive.com to see what we can do for you. mark@freetalklive.com. If you're a local advertiser, contact this station. But if you can service a national audience, contact me, mark@freetalklive.com.
You can be the smartest person in the room on the topic of the Constitution if you watch this free webinar. Liberty First University is online training on the principles of liberty and the origin, proper application, and defense of our founding documents and the principles they contain. You will receive an education worthy of the highest institutions of learning, as if the founders were teaching it. Join us at lfu.freetalklive.com to watch the free pre-recorded webinar. Watch now at lfu.freetalklive.com.
Is spreading the message of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace around the globe worth $2 per month to you? As you may already know, in addition to our internet feed, LRN.FM broadcasts on free-to-air satellite across North and Central America, as well as Sub-Saharan Africa. And we've been available on satellite for free 24/7 since 2010. The LRN.FM free-to-air satellite signal is reaching some of the most oppressive regimes in the world, and there's no doubt our ideas are making an impact. You can learn more about the channel's impact by watching the 3-minute video at fund.lrn.fm. If you'd like to help free minds globally with our ideas of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace, you can donate as little as $2 per month via fund.lrn.fm. You can help us continue and expand our satellite broadcast to multiple continents. Visit fund.lrn.fm today, and thank you for your help. Don't forget to share the link on social media. That's fund.lrn.fm. The LRN.FM social media channels have been revamped. We've eliminated Facebook and focused on other platforms like Twitter and Mastodon, the decentralized alternative to Twitter. On our accounts, you'll find posts from multiple LRN.FM show hosts together in one place. Follow us on Twitter at twitter.lrn.fm, or better yet, move to the decentralized Mastodon social media platform at toot.lrn.fm, toot.lrn.fm. I think you'll like it. So you've signed the Shire Society Declaration and are planning your move to New Hampshire to be around more liberty-oriented people. Next, sign up for the Shire Society Forum at forum.shiresociety.com. There are a bunch of people there who are already in the Shire, and they want to meet you. If you're already in the Shire physically, you should also come by the forums. Remember, not everyone uses Facebook. New people are signing up for the Shire Society Forum every month, so drop in and say hello at forum.shiresociety.com.
What's up next? Visit the Liberty Radio Network program guide to find out at shows.lrn.fm. That's shows.lrn.fm.
This is Free Talk Live. 855-450-FREE. That's our toll-free number. 855-450-3733. That's the number to get on the air and tell us what is on your mind. What's on my mind is our amplifier program. Are you
amped about it?
I am amped about our amplifier program. AMP stands for Advertise, Market, and Promote. It's a way that we allow our fans to kick in a little bit to help us do that. Advertise, market, and promote Free Talk Live. The idea is the more radio stations we're on, that means the ideas of liberty can reach that many more people. And I got to say, Free Talk Live was the first liberty-based radio program I ever heard. I had no idea something like this existed. I found it on Roku, of all the weird things. That's how I found it, and I've been a fan ever since.
First time I ever heard Free Talk Live, I was actually a guest.
Really?
Yeah, it was the night I got arrested after the first time at the 420 rally. I was on the show, and that's the first time I ever heard it.
See, you get arrested, you get press.
It's true.
I want to thank an amplifier.
If you don't get arrested, you get depressed.
Exactly. I want to thank an amplifier, Amos Stackler. He is a gold amplifier. That means he's pledged to donate $10 a month. And that is much appreciated by everyone here at Free Talk Live. So thank you, Amo.
And we should probably pitch also, hey, if you've heard about my my legal troubles and my recent fights and you're saying, how can I help out a little? There's also, is it tips.freetalklive.com?
There is, and they can also join us on...
Which one is it?
I don't know.
Could you check with the browser? Because you have one.
I will. You can also join us on Discord, and in Discord, you can leave specific tips for specific hosts right there in the Discord app. You can find out more at discord.freetalklive.com. So I found kind of an interesting, I will get back to you with that link, an interesting story that I've always suspected, but I never really had anybody come out and say it. This comes to us from Forbes. New study shows that college and high school graduates earn about the same. And that probably shocks and bewilders a lot of people with college degrees. An alarming yet...
Even people with degrees in economics, unless they've also studied the Austrian school.
Exactly. An alarming yet illuminating new study conducted by Third Way, a Washington, D.C.-based think tank, concludes that college graduates only earn the equivalent salaries of high school graduates, contrary to popular opinion, which contends that the path to success is rooted in attaining a college education. The frightening findings indicated that half of U.S. colleges in 2018 churned out a majority of graduates that earn under $28,000 a year.
How is that possible?
In past generations, primarily the upper-class wealthy elites attended universities. After World War II and the passing of the GI Bill, soldiers returning from the battlefields were offered financial assistance to attend college, and they did so in large numbers. Slowly over time, in the ensuing decades, enrollment in college became almost commonplace for the average American. Today, there is a great pressure put on high school students to attend universities, even if they lack the aptitude or the interest. Sometimes the pressure exerted on kids to attend top-tier institutions is intense. This was clearly exemplified by the recent college admittance scandal, which the rich and famous parents allegedly bribed school officials to get their children into Ivy League and top-tier universities.
We should probably mention the economics of this is really fascinating, and it illustrates how the lack of economic literacy in government causes them to adopt strategies that have the opposite of their intended effect. What happened is all of the schools, well, first off, it became a mark of quality for a school to have more of your students go to college.
Right.
So that became regarded as an end in and of itself by school administrators and teachers, because they wanted their schools to look good. So they encouraged everybody by hook or by crook to go to college, whether they need it or not. They said it's the only route to success. They said it's always worth it, even if you pick a stupid major like, feminist dance theory or gender studies or underwater basket weaving. And so all of these herds of kids went to school. Well, now people with history degrees, people with English degrees, people certainly with feminist dance theory degrees are a dime a dozen,
right?
And there aren't enough jobs for them. Meanwhile, the jobs that are going begging are plumber,
right,
and carpenter, and things like that, the things that the government pushed us away from.
Right.
So they deform the economy, and now a lot of us can't get a plumber. We can't get the people that we need, and we would gladly pay that English major to fix our sink if he only knew how.
But he doesn't.
But he doesn't know how. And this combined with the economics of it is so much like the housing boom, where they pushed housing prices up so high that nobody could afford to buy a house. Nobody could afford to live in a house that they had bought. And then, of course, because the prices could not be paid long term, the market crashed. And that's exactly what's happening with the education movement. Now, Bernie says what we should do is cancel all the student banks or all the student loans. But what that's going to mean is the government pays the banks
right.
for all these bad loans we make. So it's another
No. Government
bailout.
doesn't pay off bad loans or anything like that Wall Street assumed or that people have taken out. The taxpayers pay for those.
Well, they will also rob us.
Yes.
But they will make the banks whole. So it becomes another bailout to people who failed to predict the future economy, the future behavior of the economy. What should happen is they should eliminate the bankruptcy exemption for student loans. And if you took a student loan and you're bankrupt, you should be able to declare bankruptcy and discharge that loan like any other. The bank should get nothing if you are bankrupt. And if too many students go bankrupt, the banks themselves should in turn go bankrupt, because that means they've done more harm than good.
That they do. We're going to go to the phones where we've got Mike. Mike, you're on Free Talk Live. What's on your mind?
Hey, you guys. I want to talk a little bit about my county and their needle exchange program. Now, I grew up in the same town long before Kurt Cobain did.
Hey, Mike, we're gonna if it's okay with you, I'm going to put you on hold, and we're going to pick you up after this.
Sorry, bro.
I'm all for needle exchange programs. I don't know what his point. He may be completely against it. 855-450-FREE. What do you think? I don't even know what he's going to say, but are you for or against needle exchange programs? I think they save lives. This is Free Talk Live.
I can definitely say that I have found the best cryptocurrency wallet. Certainly the best named one. I'm Mark Edge, and I love the Edge wallet. I've been using it for the last few months. You can buy, sell, trade, and hold your cryptocurrency securely. I trust my holdings of all the major cryptocurrencies to Edge wallet, and you should too. No long phrases to memorize, just a username and password. Secure your freedom with Edge wallet. Get it now on Apple or Android in the App Store or at edge.app.
Gold has definitely been on the move recently, and there is no more secure investment historically. McIlvaney ICA has been helping people take delivery of precious metals and find storage options for decades. They've helped thousands of investors with their precious metal IRAs. Call ICA today for your free portfolio review at 800-525-9556 or download their free report online at ICAGoldSilver.com to learn how you can double your gold and silver ounces even within an IRA. 800-525-9556. ICAGoldSilver.com.
Hi, I'm Derek J. To me, an activist's calling is to actively work to advance a cause. The cause for which I work is personal freedom. I believe my life is best when I engage in voluntary interactions and self-government. I reject the idea that anyone else has a higher claim to my life or my body than I do. I see people who call themselves the government as a threat to my personal freedom. I realize you may feel differently, but my relationship with the people who call themselves the government is completely involuntary. If Starbucks used some of its money to drop bombs, I wouldn't shop there. So why would I support the American empire? The empire does not require my consent.
Derek J's Victimless Crime Spree. Watch it for free and order the Director's Cut DVD at victimlesscrimespree.com. That's victimlesscrimespree.com. The new 4th edition of Healing Our World, The Compassion of Libertarianism, will take your understanding of liberty to a deeper level and has over 1,300 updated references, new cartoons, and a foreword by Dr. Ron Paul. With discounts for multiple book purchases, the 4th edition of Healing Our World is a great gift for the liberals, pragmatists, environmentalists, and Christians in your life who think libertarianism is cold-hearted. Get yours today at healing.freetalklive.com and use promo code FTL for a $5 discount. Some of you asked, and now we've delivered. LRN.FM's live Keene, New Hampshire studio shows are now streamed in HD on Twitch. Visit our channel at twitch.lrn.fm and give it a follow. If you have Amazon Prime, you get 1 free subscription on Twitch. If you use it on our channel, Twitch will give LRN.FM a monthly piece of your Prime subscription cost. So please watch, follow, share, and subscribe to twitch.lrn.fm. That's twitch.lrn.fm.
This is a special alert for business owners, consultants, coaches, folks planning retirement, entrepreneurs, and anyone who is saving and investing to build a financial future. You are likely aware that financial privacy for most people has recently died a miserable death. And let's face it, without privacy, there really is no security, is there? Bankrupt governments and banks on the verge of collapse are perhaps the biggest threat to your financial future today. The Lighthouse Law Club recognizes this and has been working diligently to provide safe, secure, and productive tools to ensure your privacy, your financial security, and your future financial well-being, despite the catastrophes which many people fear are looming ahead of us. Find out more with a variety of free videos on the YouTube channel for Lighthouse Law Club. Just search YouTube for Lighthouse Law Club and secure your future today.
Join the LRN.FM Discord for live chat 24/7 at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm.
This is Free Talk Live, 855-855-453. That's our toll-free number, 855-450-3733. That's the number you can call and get on the air and talk about what you like. This is Open Phones Radio. There is no topic. It isn't like those Democrat and Republican, liberal and conservative radio shows you might have heard.
Excuse me, Dumb and Dumber.
heard where you can only talk about the subject at hand. We go all over the board, and that's because people say what's on their mind.
After you've done that,
right? They say what's on their mind and what interests them, and that's what we do. We listen to our callers, and we've been talking. Well, we were talking about college and how the average college graduate now makes as much as the average high school graduate, which kind of does something to that whole theory of if you really want to make the big money. And there are jobs where you can make tremendous amounts of money by assuming tremendous amounts of debt. If you want to be a doctor, if you got the aptitude, you're going to make a ton of money, but you're going to graduate under a huge pile of debt. Now, if you decide you want to be a plumber, you can probably get on-the-job training and get an apprenticeship, and you're going to make more than that plumber for at least more than that doctor for at least 10 years, while he's getting paid $35,000 if he's lucky. While he's doing his internship, you're going to be making $80,000, $85,000, $100,000.
And all of that stuff, that extreme stuff that people have to go through to become doctors. You have to do an internship where you're working like 120 hours a week.
Oh, yeah.
As a stress test. Well, guess what? Country doctor doesn't have to do that. Right. Country doctor never has to work. He can work 9 to 5. He doesn't have to be a Superman. He doesn't even have to be brilliant, because all he has to be able to do is treat the common things that he sees every single day. And when he sees something that's uncommon, he has to be able to recognize it and say, this is beyond my kin. I'm sending this guy to somebody else.
Right.
I'm sending him to one of the genius doctors because he's got something weird.
Right. We're going to go back to the phones where we've got Mike calling in from Washington State. Mike, you're on Free Talk Live. Welcome back.
Thank you. So like I was saying, I grew up the same place Kurt Cobain did, but can I say that the town should really be known for something much more important than him?
Okay.
That is Metal Church.
Which town is
I
it?
played Pee Wee League, Aberdeen, Washington.
Yep.
Okay.
And anyway, we have a really bad heroin problem there. And I do not live there now because I have to attend the Seattle VA all the time due to an amputation. So I have to stay on the other side of Seattle. So I unfortunately can't be in that town. But this needle exchange program, I'm all for it. I do believe in it. I have friends at the VA that are addicts, and they come there and get everything they need. But our county recently extended the needle exchange program, and they got $52,000 from the general fund on a grant. They use this old motorhome, blah, 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 all this stuff. But there's a lot of controversy, and people are questioning why it is we have 5 to 7 Suboxone, methadone clinics in places that addicts can go. The county will not let go of those needles and that Narcan stuff.
Huh.
And now a neighboring county actually gives Narcan classes at the bus station, and they want you to have that in your backpack because you are more than likely going to run across somebody in your travels that is knotted out, and that way you can save them. Now, the county wants the police to be called and let them come and do it, but they won't let these other clinics or anybody else pass these needles out. And I don't think the $52,000 grant is enough money to make them that stingy. I think there's more to it, and the product is free.
Right.
Right.
So they're like doing this. Something's not right with that. I just can't believe. There's got to be a reason, and I just don't understand politics
subjugation
enough.
and control, I think, are your reasons. They want to subjugate and control the people. And in order to do that, Ayn Rand in Atlas Shrugged, have you read it?
No, but I want our county commissioners come on KBKW all the time, and they say things and they don't think. But today, one of them was on there, and that's what brought this up, and mentioned that they want to make sure it's done right. Yeah. Now, why would the county want another problem and another can of worms on their hand in the first place? They got enough with the homeless and all these problems there.
Yeah, they've got plenty of things to do, and churches will do needle exchanges.
Yeah,
right. Anyway, that's just what I was kind of stirring that pot, because there's got to be more to it, and people that know more about county government that might know the answer. But I don't think it's the $52,000. It's not that much money.
Right.
They all make a lot of money.
Somebody's probably getting paid off another way.
Absolutely.
Okay. Anyway, thank you for letting me bring that up, and go Metal Church. You should use it for bumper music once in a while.
I'll remember that.
Groovy.
Hey, Mike, thanks for the call.
If you're on Discord, send me a link.
Excellent. So it's interesting because those are issues that I'm not a heroin user. I'm not an opiate user. Nobody in my immediate family is an opiate user. But I do want people who have a disease to get better, and that goes towards, Suboxone clinics and things like that. It's been said that for people to try to get off of opiates, you can't just cold turkey, just statistically just doesn't work. They got to kind of be eased off of it if they're going to make a go of it. Now, you may disagree. Go ahead.
Well, the thing is, that's not what methadone clinics do, and it's not what Suboxone clinics do. I know people who have been going to methadone and Suboxone clinics for years, and their doses keep getting increased.
No, I didn't say that they're being run well. They're being run by the government.
Well, the thing is, it's important to understand the economics of it, because basically the only thing that happens, Suboxone and methadone are both more addictive, more difficult to withdraw from than heroin. So why is the government so hot to make sure that people do Suboxone and methadone instead of heroin? Well, the answer is very clear. If you do Suboxone and heroin, your money goes to Big Pharma. Or I'm sorry, if you do Suboxone or methadone, your money goes to Big Pharma. If you do heroin, it goes to a different drug cartel. And in case you missed that insinuation there, yes, I am saying that Big Pharma is a drug cartel. They are cartelized by the government. Their soldiers are the DEA and the FDA, and they kill people to protect their territory, and they don't care whether their medicine is better than ours or not.
Well, while the heroin trade is protected by U.S. Soldiers, correct?
It is also protected by U.S. soldiers in Afghanistan, where, they have orders not to burn the crops. Well, what are the crops? They're weed and heroin. Now, I certainly think it's wonderful they're not burning the weed.
So let me take a step back. I said, most people will say that Suboxone and methadone are easier ways to get people off. Let me rephrase that because I'm going to use the words of a really good book I read on the topic. It's that assist people that go into a rehab center if they don't have something to assist them. They called it medically assisted, recovery. They're not going to be as successful as those without. Now, I don't know, what your definition of medically supported or medically assisted. I think it could be smoking pot too while you're trying to come down off of heroin.
Well, that's the thing is when I was selling weed, one of my policies was, I knew who the junkies were, and I would tell them, if you ever decide to get off heroin and you need to come by here and smoke with me free, I will smoke with you all day. And people took advantage of it, and it helped. The other thing is LSD. I literally got myself addicted to crack and then unaddicted to crack by using LSD.
So what do you think? Do you think that addiction is solely on the person? Should they just be able to stop taking it and get it over with? 855-450-FREE. This is Free Talk Live.
This is George Norrie from Coast to Coast AM and History Channel's Ancient Aliens. We support the amazing energy, nutrition, and skincare products from Jeunesse. Jeunesse products are designed by leading doctors in their field with natural ingredients and even stem cell technology. These products help your body perform and look better. Shop Jeunesse at gcnlife.com or call 1-844-443-6637. gcnlife.com or 844-443-6637.
Dahibo Tea Club's original pure Pau d'Arco Super Tea comes from the only tree in the world that fungus does not grow on, so it naturally has antifungal, antiviral, antibacterial, anti-infection, anti-inflammation, and anti-parasite properties. But maybe more importantly, Dahibo Tea Club's original pure Pau d'Arco Super Tea builds corpuscles in the blood, which carry oxygen to our organs and cells. Our organs and cells need oxygen to regenerate themselves. The immune system needs oxygen to develop, and cancer happens to die in oxygen. The tea is great for healthy people and can truly be miraculous for someone fighting a potentially life-threatening disease due to an infection, diabetes, or cancer. Dahibo Tea Club's original pure Pau d'Arco Super Tea is only $34.95 plus shipping. Order now at shopsupertea.com or call 818-984-6100. That's shopsupertea.com or call 818-984-6100. Shopsupertea.com.
Anytime, any place, anywhere, radio remains the most intimate of all forms of media. At home, at work, in the car, on smartphones. Over 90% of consumers still listen to radio every week. That makes choosing radio as a place to advertise your business one of the best decisions you can make. Email advertise@gcnlive.com and partner up with an experienced GCN representative. Advertise@gcnlive.com. Easy, affordable, effective.
On Free Talk Live, we're bringing people to the ideas of liberty every day. From wrestling superstars like Glenn Jacobs.
You guys really are having an impact, I believe. Like I said, a lot of where I am now is due to listening to Free Talk Live. You changed my mind on some very important issues years ago.
To random people tuning in on the radio.
I was kind of stuck in the left-right paradigm. I heard your show by chance on a Saturday night. From there, I went on, joined the Free State Project, and become an amplifier. So, that's really the reason why I amp is because I know that if it wasn't for you guys being on as many stations as you are, I never would have found the ideas of liberty.
Your amp will directly change more lives by getting Free Talk Live in front of people looking for talk radio online and on the air. When you amp Free Talk Live, you get perks like access to the AMP-only Facebook group and AMP podcast. Visit amp.freetalklive.com. So you've heard all 3 hours of the latest episode of Free Talk Live, and you're still hungry for liberty-oriented audio content? Did you know that we have another 24/7 audio stream at LRN.FM? The Liberty Radio Network airs the latest episodes of some of the best liberty-oriented podcasts on the internet around the clock. In addition to recorded content, you'll also hear live shows like Free Talk Live, originating from our Keene, New Hampshire studio. So listen anytime at LRN.FM. That's LRN.FM.
Cell 411 is a free app for Android and iOS that replaces government-controlled 911. Cell 411 allows you to preset a group of friends or private organizations to show up in any emergency. Cell 411 is a nightmare for the state because it proves their so-called services aren't needed. Cell 411 has had thousands of installs, and of course it's covered by the BIPCOT no government license. Cell 411 because your friends won't shoot you when you're in trouble. Without the government, who would build the emergency services? You and Cell 411. Get it today at getcell411.com.
Live video of our Keene, New Hampshire-based shows is streamed on DLive. Please follow and share at dlive.lrn.fm. That's dlive.lrn.fm.
This is Free Talk Live, 855-450-FREE. That is our toll-free number. If you jump in right now, you could still get on the air. This is our final segment, but we've been talking about addiction, and we were talking during the break a little bit.
Let me put in a pitch here before I say
Please.
anything. If you're listening to this and you're in New Hampshire, or you're connected to me on social media and you've got a chemical dependency issue and you want to talk about it, feel free to call me. I'm a priest. Spiritual counseling is free. And there are solutions to your problems, and you are not alone. So reach out, please, if you need to.
Thank you. And I'm sure somebody out there could use your help, and I hope they take advantage of it.
I hope so, too.
So I was talking to nobody a little bit about the Sinclair method, and you had not heard of the Sinclair method.
No, I hadn't. This is
Right.
new. This is all new to me.
So a doctor in Finland, he bred a few generations of extremely alcoholic rats. He made sure
he bred them to be alcoholic.
Yeah, and he had a lot to experiment with. But
see, that's very important to the disease concept, that you can breed rats to be alcoholic, because that means it has to be genetic.
Does it?
It does.
I'm not sure how he did it, but basically,
if he bred them to be alcoholic, he had to. I mean, breeding only affects DNA.
And I can't speak for his exact methods or how he ended up with all these alcoholic rats. But his theory
Maybe he
was
just had a lot of house parties and didn't throw people out in between.
That's it. But his theory was there's got to be something, because alcohol in and of itself is not addictive, right? It's not because if you have one drink, there's lots of people. I don't drink all the time, but there have been times, for example, when I was in the military, they said, alcohol takes 24 hours to leave your system. After I got out of basic training, I can tell you alcohol never left my system for 3 more years, because I was always drinking. And a lot of people were like that. They binge drink or whatever, but they don't become alcoholics. Why don't they? Sinclair's research pointed to a different cause of addiction. It was this: when people drink, they get a rush of endorphins into their system, and the endorphins are one of the things that make you feel good and make you feel happy.
Those are nature's painkillers, right? That's what you get when you exercise?
Exactly. And you can get addicted to that because it affects you much like an opiate does. So the idea was this: he's like, let me experiment with this. Let me give these rats a opioid inhibitor, something that will block the endorphins from being able to connect in the brain. And what he found was that as he gave these rats opioid inhibitors, notably Naltrexone, they gradually quit being alcoholic rats. And what this led to was the Sinclair method. The idea is this: if you know you're going to drink and you're an alcoholic, about 45 minutes before you do it, you take a Naltrexone pill. Now, Naltrexone It's not, Narcan or anything like that, even though it acts very similarly.
It actually is very similar to Narcan. It's not quite the same drug,
Right.
but it's very close to the same thing.
It's also been on the market for decades and
Yeah,
decades.
it's older.
Which means it's cheap. And it doesn't cost much to buy. The idea was this: you take one 45 minutes before you drink, let it get into your blood system, and then you have to drink. Then you're drinking.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Is
slowly,
it like drink as much as you can,
No,
or
it's
just
just
have at least one drink?
whatever
you would normally do. Don't try to control the drinking. Just
Don't
take
try.
the Narcan first.
take Narcan or Naltrexone first and keep doing that. Log how much you're drinking if that's fine. But slowly this led to people drinking less and eventually not having the desire to drink because they weren't getting the carrot. There was no Pavlov's dog. They didn't get the reward they were anticipating. And gradually
So they
the desire,
deprogrammed their brain.
They deprogrammed.
If you ring the bell and you don't feed the dog will stop drooling when you ring the bell.
So
you'll de-Pavlov your dog.
Right. This is the most common treatment in many European countries for alcoholism, and its success rate, according to government sources, is 85 to 88% success of curing alcoholism. Now, I guarantee you most people have never heard of this, but research...
I had never heard of it, and I'm this is a big issue with me, so I look into alternatives for alcoholism and opiate addiction.
And we talk about opiate addiction a lot on this show, but alcoholism and alcohol addiction brings a much higher price tag if we look at things economically. A much higher... the level of harm caused by alcoholism exceeds that of anything else.
What we used to say in AA is that drugs build better bottoms. And what that means is if you get turned on to cocaine or heroin, few years, you're either dead or sober. If you start drinking, you might be 60 before you get straight. But that doesn't mean that it hasn't ruined your life. So you hear a lot of people coming into AA at 60 saying, oh my God, I wish I'd come here at 20.
Right.
The problem is they weren't ready at 20. Alcohol is a slow poison.
The idea behind the Sinclair method is to exceed that. Now, keep in mind, for this to work, according to Dr. Sinclair, you have to drink. You take the pill, but you got to drink. You got to keep drinking. You got to find out that when you drink alcohol, you don't get that rush of endorphins. Your brain no longer gets the ringing bell. It doesn't get anything out of it, and that's what gradually decreases. As a result, Sinclair method, 85, 88% success rate compared to AA or 12-step programs in general, which seem to, according to the specs, 15 to 20% at the top of success rate of curing people. So I'm not saying...
there is no cure in AA.
Well, that's
don't
what they
cure
teach you.
Anybody.
That's the other thing about the Sinclair method. They don't demonize it. It just is what it is. There's
now,
no
when you
reason
say that
to...
alcoholics are cured by the Sinclair method if they start drinking without taking the naltrexone, do they then relapse into their alcoholism?
It's likely that they would, and that's why it's interesting. Some of the stories he talks about a bartender, in South Africa, who drank himself, to unconsciousness every single night, whiskey, but he got a little charm made for around his neck. He keeps a naltrexone pill in there just so, if I am going to drink, I just pop one of these and, I might have. And that's the other thing. You're telling alcoholics that you can continue to drink socially, You don't be surprised if after a couple beers, you're probably not going to feel like drinking anymore.
See, the funny thing is I used to consider myself an alcoholic, and I was definitely a major problem drinker. Today, I get bored with alcohol after 2 beers, and I think that's because of the weed that I smoke, because that keeps me from being in that place where I want to escape my life and escape consciousness.
Right.
It takes the edge off the pain of life, and sometimes life is painful without rendering me useless. I mean, Mark used to get upset that I'd smoke weed while I was on the show. And then after a while, he was like, you're no different when you're not smoking than when you are, so I'm not going to give you a hard time about this anymore. Please, watch the video if you're out there. It's a TED Talk. It's called Everything You Think You Know About Addiction is Wrong. And there's a book that you should read after the TED Talk. It's by the same author. It's called Chasing the Scream. And it talks about a very important experiment called Rat Park. The original experiments where they found how dangerous heroin and cocaine were, they kept these rats locked in cages by themselves with nothing but a bottle of heroin or cocaine, and they killed themselves with it. Well, in Rat Park, they took the same number of rats, but they put them all in the same cage.
Socialization.
They mixed the genders.
Yep.
So they had lots of rat sex, and they gave them rat toys, and they just had a great rat time. And they had the heroin and the cocaine available to them, but they did not use it to excess, and they did not die. So when you're asking yourself about addiction, ask yourself, why do people want to escape their lives?
Yeah, and I think that's key. It's there are ways that people could try to reprogram their brain. That's what you're doing in any recovery. But the idea that some of these systems that are used so successfully overseas, we just can't have because that doesn't fit our idea and our mold of what the programs are.
Well, maybe my church will take it up and call it spiritual healing.
That's all the time we have for you tonight, but we'll be here tomorrow night because we're here every night. Free Talk Live is always live and always here for you. Thanks for joining us. This is Free Talk Live.
Do you have a crypto wealth advisor or coach? If so, has your cryptocurrency advisor been investing in technology stocks for over 20 years? Have they left the corporate world and retired? Or are they still trying to make a weekly paycheck? Have they produced six-figure results for their customers in the past 30 days? And very importantly, are they a member of the Digital Currency Council? Seth Maniscalco is the founder of Crypto Wealth Coach and CryptoWealthCoach.com. Seth invested in his first Roth IRA at 19 years old while living abroad and has been investing in Wall Street and technology for over 20 years. With experience in all the money markets. By comparison, so many of these so-called crypto gurus have barely been alive for 20 years. Seth has not only experienced personal success from his own investments in crypto, he has also helped his clients earn 6- and 7-figure incomes, including helping investors make over $750,000 in EOS in 90 days and 1,225% in only 5.5 months with Chainlink. Seth has help for the small do-it-yourself guy on up to crypto whales. Increase your wealth. Visit CryptoWealthCoach.com.
Are you a cryptocurrency advocate? The Crypto Tip is the ideal outreach tool to help new people discover cryptocurrency. It's a printable business card-sized tip that you can give to service providers, preferably in addition to a good cash tip. When the server scans the QR code, it'll bring up an explanation of cryptocurrency, how to install a wallet, and allow them to claim the tip. If they don't claim the crypto, you get your tip refunded to you after a time period you specify. Plus, if they do claim the tip, you get an email alert. Create as many tips as you want at cryptotip.org. That's cryptotip.org. If you want to know the latest about Free Talk Live before we go on the air, all you need to decide is how you want it delivered. It's your choice. Visit news.freetalklive.com to receive our usually weekly news updates by email. Plus, we have a Twitter account at twitter.freetalklive.com, and you can follow us on the decentralized Mastodon platform at toot.freetalklive.com. So please follow us at toot.freetalklive.com and sign up for our emails at news.freetalklive.com.
The latest episode of Declare Your Independence with Ernest Hancock is next after the news on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
This is the Liberty Beat, your daily source for Liberty news and activist updates. Produced in partnership with SNLS News and listeners like you. Online at libertybeat.news and snls.news. I'm Mick Murrow with your latest edition of the Liberty Beat. Gold is trading at $1,507, silver at $17.59, and Bitcoin is trading around $8,274. Today's prices are brought to you by InnoScale. Take off with Managed Cloud. Looking for a safe, secure way to store your important files online? Let InnoScale handle it for you. Their high-availability cloud servers are the perfect solution for clients needing one or more secure, scalable servers with built-in hardware failover protection. For details, see them online at innoscale.net. In the news, a large military parachute training exercise went horribly wrong at an Army base in Mississippi late Wednesday night, resulting in nearly 24 soldiers suffering injuries as a major emergency response situation unfolded. The Mind Unleashed reports a U.S. Army spokesman described to the Associated Press that about 89 soldiers were aboard a C-130 for a night jump at Camp Shelby. But upon exiting the airplane, high winds blew the paratroopers far away from their intended drop zone and into a forested area. At least 22 soldiers were injured in the jump, with 7 hospitalized with more serious injuries, though none were reported as life-threatening. It was part of a 10-day exercise involving over 900 paratroopers and heavy equipment drops, in one of the largest war game exercises of its kind that Camp Shelby has ever hosted. The Liberty Beat is sponsored in part by Brave Botanicals, high-quality kratom and CBD at reasonable prices with excellent customer service. Brave Botanicals is activist-owned and mission-driven, and believes so strongly in the power of kratom, they're giving it away for free. Just go to freeounceofkratom.com for a free ounce of kratom delivered to your door. Just pay shipping. That's freeounceofkratom.com. This is the latest edition of the Liberty Beat. Find us online at libertybeat.news and snls.news. Your news now continues. The Electronic Frontier Foundation and the American Civil Liberties Union Foundation of Southern California have reached an agreement with Los Angeles law enforcement agencies under which the police and sheriff's departments will turn over license plate data they indiscriminately collected on millions of law-abiding drivers in Southern California. According to a news release, the data, which has been de-identified to protect drivers' privacy, will allow EFF and ACLU SoCal to learn how the agencies are using automated license plate reader systems throughout the city and county of Los Angeles, and to educate the public on the privacy risk posed by the intrusive technology. A week's worth of data, composed of nearly 3 million data points, will be examined. ALPR systems include cameras mounted on police cars and at fixed locations that scan every license plate that comes into view. That's up to 1,800 plates per minute. They record data on each plate, including the precise time, date, and place it was encountered. A Chattanooga, Tennessee police officer stripped to his underwear and baptized a woman he was arresting for having a marijuana roach. That's according to a report from the Free Thought Project,